Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with Mzalendo this morning. Mzalendo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Brother Ben. Long time. We've not seen each
Mhm.
other for a while now. Mm.
Umepotelea wapi?
Bana, shughuli mapilika za kutafuta unga ya kila
Eh,
siku eh? Yeah.
hii unga
Kazi bana, ndugu yangu.
hii unga ambayo unaitafuta ushawahi ipata kweli, ama tu ile inakuwa tu ni ile unga
Mara
ya
kila saa nikipata naweka maji natia ugali inaisha tena
eh,
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 kesho ni kuenda tu, ni kuanza safari nyingine. Eh,
mm,
ndio sasa naangalia ni wakati wa ku-work smart, uangalie utafanya kazi kivipi, kwa sababu
okay,
hii mambo
lakini
ya kutafuta unga kila siku bana,
mm,
inafaa sasa tupumzike
ukipumzika hapa watu watapata kukula kweli?
bana. Hii nchi imetengenezwa kwa njia ingine ya
Mm,
kugandamiza ama kiukatili, yaani ni nchi ambayo ukiingia hakuna wa
eh,
kutoka.
hakuna kutoka.
Kitu ya kwanza ukiingia nchi kama wewe ni mgeni, kwa wale wanakuja, kitu ya kwanza
Mm,
ni utanunua simu kwa sababu hautakuwa na jinsi unavyoweza kuwasiliana. So
mhm,
utanunua simu zao. Kitu ya kwanza kwa simu yako ndio utapata ni karibu.
mhm,
Sisi hapa tunaweza kukupatia eh, gari.
eh,
Tunaweza kupatia gari na tunaweza kupatia kwa gari katika kwa njia ya mkopo.
mm.
Mhm. Hiyo ni simu unashindwa hao jamaa walipata namba yangu namna gani? Kidogo mwingine anakupigia anakuambia, njoo karibu brother kaka Ben, tunaweza kukupatia credit."
Eh,
Credit unaweza pata credit ya shilingi
mm,
200,000, unaweza pata credit ya 500,000, hata
mhm,
10,000.
mhm.
Unasema, bana hii ni pesa sijashika kwa muda. Wacha
Eh,
nichukue hizi vitu." Sasa
ni
hizi
kweli.
vitu ukishazichukua hivi,
Mm,
zinakuweka katika ile bracket ya kuwa kwa madeni ya
yes.
alafu kidogo unaambiwa, unaendelea vizuri sana kaka Ben. Sasa mbona unaweza nunua nyumba, chukua nyumba. Sasa Ben
Eh,
anaambia anaenda pale social media, sasa nimenunua
nyumba.
nyumba kule Umarekani.
Mm,
Hiyo ni deni ya zaidi ya miaka 40, ikitegemea kiwango cha pesa ile iliyokuwa ukilipa,
mm,
ama 50 kwenda mbele. So ukiangalia na umri wako, ukichukua deni huo utakuja kuimaliza kama uko na miaka karibu 70 ama 75 kule,
mhm,
ama 80. So umekuwa kwa deni, kazi
eh,
unafanya kulipa hizo madeni, nyumba unalipa, gari unalipa, mpaka siku ile utapata afueni. Na ukimaliza hivi wanakuambia,
mm,
bwana, sasa kuna gari ingine, ndio naona sasa wewe bwana, wewe hizi gari ndogo umekuwa ukitembea nazo, sasa chukua hii kwanza, sasa hakuna kitu unalipa wewe. Tumekuangalia wewe unalipa deni vizuri sana wewe, hii gari shika, lakini tutakupatia kwa
mm.
credit. So
So,
kwa
i
ufupi
mhm.
kwa ufupi wewe ni mfungwa,
Okay. So,
unafanya kuboresha uchumi wa hii nchi.
oh. Na sasa mtu anaweza epuka aje mambo kama hayo? Labda kama wewe mtu ambaye, labda umeshakaa na labda uko na ujuzi fulani ama ujuzi.
Mambo
Una
kama
una unaweza shauriaje mtu ambaye labda ndiye anakuja wa kwanza na mambo kama hayo?
mimi sina elimu ya kifedha, but
Mm,
naweza sema hivi, ukiangalia ukija hii nchi, kitu ya
mm,
kwanza lazima uangalie ni kuna deni muhimu, kwa sababu deni lazima ukuwe nayo ndio
mm,
uweze hata kuishi.
mm,
Lazima ukuwe credit worthy. So
mm.
chukua zile vitu unaweza lipa kwa haraka,
Yeah.
kwa haraka na uende kuchukua deni nyingine na tena ulipe kwa
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 haraka.
haraka. Usichukue deni ambao inakupeleka kwa muda, utalipa miaka mingi zaidi.
Okay.
Ukichukua deni ndio unaweza lipa kwa, kama ni credit, anza na credit ya shilingi $200, $500. Lipa
Mhm.
hiyo haraka haraka, ilikuwe ni
Ah,
either secured ama unsecured credit card. Ulipa haraka
mm,
haraka, pointi zako zinaenda kule mbele.
juu.
Haya, ishi katika kiwango cha ile maisha, unajua?
Amba ambapo wewe unaweza unaweza
Pia usiishi maisha ya watu wengine ama maisha ile unaona kwa TV ama maisha,
mhm,
kwa sababu hapa Marekani kuna
mm,
watu wale wao wazungu, au unaweza fanya na kazi na mtu ambaye anapata malipo ya uzeeni,
mm,
ameretire katika kazi 2 ama 3.
ehe,
Hiyo ni kazi yake ya 4. Wewe
ehe,
unadhani wewe ni colleague wako, mko katika level moja.
ehe,
Yeye anafanya kazi kupoteza muda,
mhm,
kukuwa busy,
mhm,
unanielewa? Wewe unafanya kazi kulipa kodi, kulipa gari, kulipa nyumba, kulipa vitu mingi, kulipa simu, unaona?
mm,
Lakini yeye kuna ile hela bado yeye hupata za social security, na
yeah,
kuna ile pesa bado anapata. Kwa hii pesa ingine anakuambia hii pesa pengine ni inanisaidia tu kulisha mbwa wangu na kupatia na marafiki na watoto wangu. Mm.
na kabla labda tujaenda kwa mada ya leo, labda pia unaweza katuelezea kwamba kuna baadhi ya watu huwa wanatoa ushauri sana sana, kwa wale ambao wanatakao kuja Marekani, labda unawaambia maisha si rahisi sana. Kama labda uko na kazi na kuna kiwango cha pesa ambao labda wewe unapata ukiwa nchini Kenya, labda, si vyema wewe kuja kufanya kazi Amerika.
Unaona,
Shauri kama hiyo wewe unasema vipi?
nasema hivi,
Mm,
hii ni nchi mzuri kwa
mm,
kuingia katika umri fulani.
mhm,
Unaona,
yeah,
kama wewe ni kijana na umejipanga vizuri,
mm,
ama kama unakuja kimasomo, usome
yes,
alafu uingie katika ile inaitwa job market ya
yes,
hii nchi ya Marekani.
mhm,
Unapata kuwa ukiingia hii nchi katika umri fulani, then
yeah,
umeingia katika wakati mzuri sana. Wakati wewe unaweza chukua deni, kama ni nyumba, utalipa
yeah,
eh, kwa muda mrefu, ndio,
mhm,
lakini
mhm,
utamaliza kuilipa haraka kama bado uko na
uko na
nguvu.
nguvu.
Haya,
Mm,
kama uko kule Kenya, wacha niingie kwa ile swali lako. Kama uko kule Kenya
mhm,
na uko kwa biashara, tuseme biashara yako ukifanya matumizi yako yote, ile pesa unabaki nayo ni kama shilingi 1,100 ya
mm,
kucheza nayo. Nyumba pia uko nayo, ile
mhm,
ulipi kodi,
mhm,
ulipi rent, unajua, ya nyumba. Then naweza kukushauri, hii si nchi ya kuja. Ama una
aha,
kazi yako mzuri, umeandikwa, wewe unafanya
mhm,
katika sekta ya fedha pale
yeah,
benki nini,
mhm,
na una pesa, wewe ni assistant manager, kitu kama hiyo.
mhm,
Then unapata green card, unasema wacha nijaribu Marekani.
mm,
Kama ulikuwa manager na umepata green card uje Marekani,
mm,
ukidhani kuwa wewe utaingia katika bank ufanye kazi ile ulikuwa unafanya,
mhm,
pole pole, ole wako. Hapa America humbles you. Utapewa pale, hey, ndugu, hapa ni supermarket, wewe kazi yako ni kupanga hizi masabuni na kila siku. Wewe ulikuwa manager, ukae ukijua. Haya,
mm,
utakaa hii nchi kwa sababu ile aibu na kazi pia ushawacha. Utakaa hii
mm,
nchi katika hiyo hali ya kutafuta mbinu na wapi wapi. and maybe ukose, na saa zingine pia kuna wale watu Kenya wanapata
Yeah.
kama kazi mzuri, wale wameenda kwa education system wakajielimisha, wakapata MBA, wakapata kazi, which is rare. Those are very very few cases, but ziko. So wewe ukirudi Kenya,
Yeah.
wewe ulikuwa umeajiri watu, ulikuwa HR manager, ulikuwa mdosi bank, kuna majunia wako wale ulioacha kule nchini. Ukirudi Kenya unapata ule junia wako baada ya miaka 10 ama miaka 20 hivi
Yeah.
anakuambia, brother Ben umerudi? Twende bana kwangu leo unitembelee. Jamaa amenunua nyumba kule Runda, ameendelea ana maendeleo ile wewe hauna. Wewe hata hiyo nyumba hauna. Ulitoka kama uko katika ile process ya acquire
Ku, ku,
property,
ku,
so ukaenda Marekani. So hiyo dream imeisha hivyo, but kitu ile hapa inakusaidia ni kuna nafasi za ajira. Kama wewe ufanyi kazi kule Kenya, hapa kuna nafasi za ajira. Ukiingia hivi siku ya pili, siku ya tatu, ukiingia katika ile njia ile inafaa, unapata ajira kwa
kwa
haraka.
haraka. Yeah.
Ukishapata ajira unajiendeleza, na kama huku kwa unafanya chochote
Yeah.
unapata, huku kule alikuwa anafanya chochote, akiingia huku unapata. Sasa ukitoka Kenya au ulikuwa umetama kidogo ama umetama kwa muda, hauna gari, hauna nyumba, hauna makao, tuseme ulikuwa naishi na relatives hivi, unapata sasa imekufungulia njia, unaweza komboa nyumba ya bedroom 2 3, unaweza kuwa na gari yako kwa muda mfupi sana, muda ya
Okay.
mwaka moja, mwaka mbili, umeshakuwa na hizi vitu zote. So hapo ndio tofauti, hapo ndio
Okay.
tofauti.
So
Maskini kwa ufupi, maskini wa hii nchi anaweza endesha gari. Maskini wa Kenya ni maskini, hawezi hata kuwa na hiyo nafsi ya kuendesha gari.
Okay, ndugu mzalendo, asante sana. Unajua mengi yanasemwa sana sana kwa wale ambao ama mandugu zetu ambao labda hawajapata nafasi ya kutembelea ama kuishi katika nchi za ughaibuni. Kuna maneno mengi ambayo zinasemwa, lakini wewe najua unazungumza kama yule mtu ambaye ashaishi na najua kwa kweli iko vipi. So kuna mazuri yake na pia kuna mabaya yake. Mimi nakushukuru kwa kutueleza hayo, na ni jambo ambalo labda siku moja tukipata nafasi tunaweza
Tunaweza iongelea kwa urefu. Hiyo ni kijuujuu tu, lakini sasa kwa undani tunaweza compare ile kitu hii nchi inakupatia. Hii nchi inakupatia opportunity ya growth na inakupatia security.
Okay, alright, sawa sawa.
Security. Unaweza amka kwangu na niwache nyumba wazi na nirudi nipate kule. Na naweza enda town, naweza fanya shughuli yangu na nirudi. Although kuna incidents za crime, lakini si kama kule nyumbani. Mtu anakuja uko kwa barabara, mtu amekunyang'anya kibeti, amekudunga kisu nini. Ni rare, ziko lakini ni rare.
Kwa uchache zaidi. Okay, sawa mzalendo, asante sana. Joseph, habari gani kakangu?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine.
It has been a minute, bro.
Hello, Joseph. Hi.
Yeah, I'm very fine. It has been a minute.
Yes.
In where I am, we are under tension, so we sometimes we try to keep a distance
Okay.
a bit, and you look at
Okay.
the situation that is happening.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph, for joining, and we hopefully things will cool down so that you can live in peace. So, this Saturday morning, we just want to have a recap of what happened during the week, and we want to look at um, your views on especially on the happenings of the weekend. We will start with internationally. Maybe to start with you, Joseph. I think you've seen or watch the news of Nepal, what happened with the Gen Z, on how they um, came out in large numbers when the social media was banned, and how they destruction and everything. So, from your own perspective, what can Gen Z of Kenya learn from what happened in Nepal and also the leaders? Because I think it is a learning moment for both the leaders and even the Gen Z. From on your perspective, maybe if you can give your view.
Yeah, thank you. I want to start this one by saying that in Nepal, these people or the Gen Z in Nepal, it's Gen Z plus the older generation, because also then they were part of that. They
Yeah.
wanted to they wanted to remove the government that has been that they in their view has been disturbing them and has not been a good government to them. So you seeing them going to the streets and telling the government should leave. That
Yeah.
was the first step for them to achieve what they wanted. And
Yeah.
I'm very proud of them because they also, after they did everything that they did, and people said that, I had one MP in Kenya saying that they know what it is to be under military rule. He was ashamed by those people because those people, after they did everything that happened, they broke everything. You saw they burned the parliament. They have started the repairs. They have started doing the repairing of their country. So
Mm.
they damaged it when they wanted to remove these bad leaders, and now they are rebuilding it. That
Mhm.
is a very good show because I saw the videos when they were putting the pavements of the road, the ones which had been distracted, some of them put in windows which had been demolished. So I
Mhm.
think this is this is a wake up call to the people who are always afraid and saying that when we remove a bad government, that
Mhm.
the country can go to can go to certain heights of hell and something. They need to know that people can remove a certain government and still life goes on as usual. In Nepal, life is going on as usual, and
Mhm.
it's not only in Nepal. We have seen even in Bangladesh, they overthrow the government, and they are still trying to hold on and change, because you cannot be having. It's better you bring this change and you see what it will do to you than saying that tutashinda tukiogopa. Mtaogopa mpaka lini? Just try and see if the change can also help you, because
Mhm.
people is still, the government try to instill fear in you that you cannot share, hauwezi badilika haraka.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mzalenda, I do believe that also you've interacted with the news that uh, took place, especially in Nepal. But I want to give you a perspective on this because you saw how, especially the ministers, especially the minister for finance, was flogged march in the street and stripped out. Do you remember he was even in the river? They had to go and bring him out. And also, the opposition leader was some of the opposition leaders, their house was touched. So when you look at it, it was they were not very specific, but they were going for a political class. So when you saw going for a political class, and also especially the ministers are being ferried or are being evacuated to a safe location by the military choppers, what can we learn, especially from that, as a country or any other leadership that is around the world, of what happened in Nepal?
Thank you, Brother Ben, for that wonderful question. The story of Nepal is very interesting. The current the ousted prime minister has been there. This was the third time he was coming into power. Remember that.
Mhm.
And the people of Nepal, I watch a lot of features, especially on countries such as Nepal. Nepal is one of those countries where people are very, very innocent. Innocent to an extent that they will not take a bribe or take any. extra money. They will
Yeah.
not even take up a tip. You have to really convince them that they need that money, They will not take any extra coin. You see, like in our country, where you will come and somebody tells you that you want to buy something in the streets or in the shop, there is a price for a foreigner and a price
Mhm,
for locals. So
mhm,
when something costs 500 in their currency, it will just be
mhm.
500. It will not be 2,000 like
Yeah.
the way Kenyans are. But these are moral lessons we learn from this country.
Mhm,
This is a country that is committed to the rule of law, and they're committed to democracy and freedom of speech, especially in the age of digital media. So
mhm,
the lesson learned here is that even after the government banned the digital platform, they were still able to use the offline uh, uh, encrypted media to communicate and organize
mhm.
their demonstration. And one thing you note in this demonstration that nobody is saying, even some of these young people were affiliated to political parties, and they wore school uniforms. They were from the ages of 13 to 28 years
Mhm,
that went on the streets, and they went on the street because these are the ages that uses platforms like TikTok.
yeah.
Yeah, they use platforms like Facebook. This is where some of them earn some money. So when you cut them off from the X spaces where they've been generating some kind of income through adverts and through the content that they share outside there, then
Mhm,
that becomes a problem. I know this is a good lesson uh, for Asia, and it's also a good moral lesson for leaders who think that they can loot the money and still control the population, because most of us are poor. So the capitalist will control the resources that they have, meaning the political class. Now in
mhm,
Kenya, it's not no longer the business community that controls stuff in Kenya. It is
mhm.
political class that controls everything in Kenya. So the
Okay.
political class feels entitled. You see the way they talk. If you go
Mhm,
to the social platforms and you see how politicians who are in power are
mhm,
speaking to those who employed them, and that is us, the
mhm.
citizens of Kenya, you wonder where they got this kind of entitlement. They
Yeah.
feel that they can never. When you see a politician talking right now, you
Mhm.
feel that this is somebody who is so confident that even in the next general election,
Yes.
whatever you do, you will not remove your area MP or your senator. Yeah, and is they are ready to do anything to protect their seats. But the young people are saying no, enough is enough. We have seen governments come down and rise up again. So a revolution can happen anywhere. So Kenya nearly came to that juncture, and fortunately or unfortunately, the Gen Zs backed out. But
Okay.
it is something that is there. It is something that is not gone. It is something that can come back again.
All right. Among other things that the young people were complaining about of Nepal was about the opulence, especially from the political class, and also how, especially majority of their family members were showing the kind of good life they were living. They would take those selfies in a like enjoyable life. And this reminded me of what happened just the other day. I saw one of the civil servants, that is the former Nairobi nominated Senator Millicent Omanga, gifted the son a Mercedes Benz, which is quite much expensive. and and you're a civil servant, and if you look at what some other young people were complaining about, was about the opulence, and maybe the people who are working in the civil sector are showing those kind of like expensive life. And if you go to one of the comments in that picture, Mzalendo, somebody was saying that Nepal is coming soon. So how long does it take us to learn?
Yeah, a good. I want to say this. Our leaders are so much entitled. This is one lady who first, I think, she refused her first appointment by the president. Remember, there are other people who are really looking for what she didn't want to. But
Hmm.
again, the president later on gave her, you know, another appointment. Uh, it is the political cabal. These are the guys who I always tell people, if you are within that circle, if you happen to get into the door or to sit on that dining table
Hmm.
where there is plenty for us, we as politicians,
Yes.
and you as citizens, munatupiwa crumbs, munatupiwa pale kidogo. You see, have you ever gone to a house where there's a cat
Hmm.
and you are busy eating on the dining table and the cat is crawling all over your legs, and you don't like pets, so what happens?
Hmm.
Well, what happens when you don't like pets and you are in my house and the cat is all over your legs? What do you do?
Kick them.
Huh?
You kick the cat
Yeah, you kick it. You see, you kick it or you throw something for it to,
to eat.
yeah, so that it gets out of your,
Way.
yeah. So even when you kick it out, it still comes back.
Mm.
So the problems in Kenyan politics, they've been kicking it out, but the cat has always been coming back, and they're giving it the crumbs. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, one day the cat will climb on top of the table. What
Yeah.
happens when the cat climbs on top of a table?
Will eat the food that is there.
If you are not used to cats, you'll scramble for safety.
Yes.
Yeah, and you will not want to eat that food again. Utakimbia
Hmm.
uachane na hiyo chakula, hii paka namna gani, unajua. So
Mm.
we are in that kind of situation whereby
Okay.
we are the cats, and each and every time we get to see or we get to eat from the carpet while they eat from the table. And this is the difference. That gap between the table and the floor where the cat is eating,
Hmm.
it's a difference of 1,000,000 shillings.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a difference of 1,000,000 shillings. So and these guys, they're entitled to earn over 1 million or 2 million plus. Yeah, which is calculated by RC. It's called the Salaries and Remuneration Commission.
Hmm.
While the teacher down here, his salary is calculated and added 29 shillings.
Yeah.
And this is the teacher who pays them a salary through the taxes that the government collects from her or him.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that is where we are as a country.
Okay.
It is dangerous. The politicians might laugh, they might smile, they might build every other road that they think is necessary. They
Yeah.
might build all these stadiums and all these nice things that they see. But
Yes.
when the citizens don't have anything in their pocket, they will
Pockets. Yes.
come for what you have.
All right. Thank you so much, Mzalendo. And maybe Joseph and you also in brief, when you go to those comments, because like I was following up those comments, but like you find the comments that are coming are like, okay, they are very negative, not even negative, but they send you a message, and realizing that, so there's something that has really happened, and you're also a civil servant. So at what point should you learn and know very well that right now what we are very in a very fragile environment, or we are dealing with a very fragile and fluid um, kind of like population right now, such like what I'm doing can generate or can propel to something else. So how can I be smart enough to make sure that I do it in a way that does not appear to be bad or does not appear to be negative to some people?
I came to one of this platform, I think this one or the other one, and I said that one day people are going to invade these houses of these leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and it is going to happen. As I said, it is not going to take a very long time, because in the way they show us how they are living lifestyle and what they can drive. There is even another MP who drives a G wagon. Do you know how much fuel a G wagon consumes? So
Mm-hmm.
when you see this kind of sort of acts, I'm telling you, it's very near. It's not even the Nepal way. It will be even worse in Kenya. It will not be the Nepal way. And you see certain politicians having chunks of land, and they have bought them, and they have bought them through proceeds of money that we know where it's coming from. And then they try to show us in their social medias.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there is a time coming, and that time will be a problem for those people who have taken money and they have been showing opulence. It's okay. You can be buying your sons vehicles and water and showing
Mm-hmm.
it on the social media, but don't know the regular man who is in Kenya, who cannot be able to feed himself. The anger is continuing to boil. And the problem is the generation that is coming is not an old generation. People nowadays are dying at 60, at 50. If you see somebody past 60, nowadays we start to say that he's living his life. So
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot pass 60, it means you're in the gap line of 50. So from 50, from 1 year to 50, it means it's just a very short time. And so it means the generation initially is very young. And the problem with the young generation, you cannot be able to stop them from doing whatever they want to do, because initially the people who have the opulence, they are people who are getting edged out. There are people who are turning to their 50s, going to their 70s. Most of these
Yep.
MPs and most of those ladies you see with their opulences, they are 40, 50s, and they are going to their 60s. So do you expect them that when they will be in their 70s, they will be having the vigor? They will not be having the vigor, and they will be in a country where we have young people who are unemployed, and they are suffering. So
Okay.
that one, I'm telling you, it's coming, and it will come, even if not now, even if after
Mhm.
5 years, that one will
It-
come
okay.
because of
All
the
right.
opulence they show in their social media. That one will come. I hope even they don't show it in the social media. You keep it to yourself. But the problem is, you show it to everybody, that you can be able to afford these things. A Range Rover, when somebody is even cannot even afford a one meal in a day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. That is, we were just giving our thoughts, especially in what happened in Nepal, and how they are rebuilding now their country, and what lessons can the country learn, the leadership, and even the citizen of the nation. Um, let's switch gears a little bit, Mr. Mzalendo and Joseph. We know by-elections are coming in November 2027. That is when the election is going to take place. But there are quite a number of significant decisions that have been made, especially this uh, this week that is ending. This is concerning the Mbere North constituency, where the DCP party, that is Rigathi Gachagua, decided to withdraw his candidate, who and is going to support the DP candidate. And also we saw Moses Kuria also came into the mix by taking a candidate that dumped the DCP. Today also, um, Pauline Joroge also made some comments that the Jubilee is not going to fill a candidate in Bere North, but they are going to support the candidate for United Opposition, that is the DP. We are also seeing that with Malava too. The DPK is going to fill a candidate. Any affiliate of United Opposition, they're not going to do that. But now, when you come to Kasipul Kabondo, where also is quite much interesting, Aroko Goodlife, who at some point said that he's a live ODM member, decided to decamp ODM and is going independent with a party symbol of Atete. And that is what we are seeing. And we also saw today the ODM, they were giving certificate to some of their members, direct nomination papers to some of their members, and the SG was not around. He was in Githunguri fundraising for a cooperative. So we want to look at uh, what are the scenarios. And if to start with you, Mzalendo, I want you to speak about the Homa Bay County, especially Kasipul, whereby Yaroko Goodlife has decided to dump ODM to run as an independent candidate. What does this one mean to Yaroko candidate in terms of his political lifeline in the politics of Kasipul Kabondo, to be precise, Homa Bay County? And what does this one also mean to ODM? You know, uh, talking about their democracy. Then also, I will give Joseph a chance, then you can come and talk about Mbere before we move into another topic. Mr. Mzale, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much, brother Ben. That's indeed a very good question, and for the last part of the month, we have been urging Aroko Good Life to step out of ODM because one is not going to get the ticket, the party ticket. But fortunately, he has heeded to the calls of many of people who want him to win that particular seat. And for one reason, that we really want Aroko to win that seat. This is a seasoned politician. He has been there for a while and he's done some good things. And these political seats are not heredity, are not inherited. Uh, that if your father was the MP, then you have to take over from where he left. There's nothing like that in the constitution. There's nothing like that in the people's mind. It is an idea that the ODM party has to appease the dead, which to me I don't think it is right. For the people of Kasipul, they've got the right to choose the candidate of their choice without being manipulated. Now, what will this do? Aroko stepping out of ODM and running as independent with his simple or symbol or tete. Uh, it means that. He has realized that indeed he can face ODM party with their candidate on an independent ticket. This is by the demand of the people. I think deep down in Aroko's heart, he really wanted to remain in ODM. The problem with these leaders, even the one that is currently going to face Boyd in the nomination, he knows very well that he's going to lose in the nomination against Boyd. He's going to lose because this is somebody who is being supported by the party, is supported by the party chairman, is supported by the leadership of the ODM party. They have come out very clearly to tell you that this is our candidate. So why do you have to waste time on a certificate that will be issued to their candidate? So some of these leaders you see uh, who you see crumbling for the ODM ticket, but I believe there are only two right now. There is one guy and a boy who are only running on that ticket, waiting for the
You're
nomination.
talking of a former media personality, John Bota.
I don't know whether John Butta is running on an ODM ticket, but I think he's also a sponsored candidate. There are a
Okay.
lot of politics going there. There are also candidates who are being sponsored by the party or by the county. This affair is being run by the county government of Homa Bay, and
Mm-hmm.
for them, they are only running to show that solidarity with ODM. You tell me, the owner of the party has told you that this is my candidate. The owner, the issuer, the guys who issue the nomination certificate have already told you that this is our candidate. So then why do you have to waste the 250,000 to go for a bogus exercise called nomination, which you are going to lose definitely? Then
Mm-hmm.
you'll come out in the press. We'll be here sometimes when before then, after the nomination, you'll hear the same candidate saying that now they are going to support Boyd Were fully for this particular seat. They will all be saying that they will not support the other candidates. They will not support this other guy, or they will probably run as independent. But I
Okay.
can tell you for free that these guys are just coming to back Boyd for this particular seat. But again, Ben, there is something that you need to note that
Mm-hmm.
this seat was was advertised, and it attracted so many people. If you look at the previous election, it attracted so many people. I remember even my friend Shadrach was vying in that particular constituency,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost an ODM ticket. So it attracted many other candidates who are not turning up to look for the ODM ticket. It means one thing:
Mm-hmm.
they are shying away from that particular party, or the people have come to realization that we have to choose a leader of our choice. We have to choose a leader of our choice without being dictated by the party.
But Mzalendo, before I bring in Joseph, when you look at the political terrain in that area, we have the the diehard of the party that even if you look at the comment section, they are saying here we are voting for the party. We are not voting for an individual. This we are towing the party line because that's what the party wants. From the all indication, and they are also now when you come to those who are vying, there are those who have got that fear that if I go against the party, then which means coming in the subsequent election that might be coming in future, I might be kind of like
Yes,
marked.
you see that idea that you have, that what you are trying to communicate is that there is somebody out there. They really want they really don't want to be in the bad books of ODM,
Yeah.
like some of us. They don't want to be in that bad book of ODM. That we are life members of this particular party. That if anything is going wrong, we can't talk about it.
Hmm.
Even if there is something smelling in the party, we will never talk about it,
Hmm.
in the hope that one day they realize that we kept quiet, so that they can reward us. So
Hmm.
most of these people, what they are looking for are ODM by extension is the county government of Homa Bay. So what they are looking at is, can we possibly get some employment at the county level? Yeah, at the county level. Even if we miss this, we are loyal members of ODM. We trust your system. We have spent our money. So please, even if we are going to lose this, make sure that we also get something out of the county. That is how
Okay.
they are bargaining. So they are
All
not
right.
seriously wanting to represent the people, but they want to represent themselves as the good boys of the party.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you. Maybe Joseph, I don't know whether you are having any information, especially concerning the race in Kasipul Kabondo. We know Aroko Good Life was the biggest contender, and they're the people that yeah, people are looking at, like they are going to give this election that is coming to be a tight race. And if you go back in some of his interviews, he has always insisted that he's a live member of ODM and is not moving out of ODM. But a few days back, he made a decision and decided to dump the ODM, and he wants to run as an independent candidate. And there are so many questions that people are asking, that this, you're going to spoil your political future because you're going against the party. Secondly, you're not going to win. So maybe somebody maybe who has interacted in this politics of our country, what would be your view, especially concerning what is happening in Homa Bay, to be precise, Kasipul Kabondo?
Yes, thank you for that question. And it's very easy that when you're in Homa Bay, you're in an ODM zone. So it's very difficult for him to be able to get that seat. That seat,
Mm,
if ODM has declared that seat will be given to the late the son of the late Were,
mm,
it means that that seat is going to go there. It will not go to another place as long as you're opposing ODM in Nyanza region.
mm.
It will not augur well with you. It will not augur well with you. It has happened in certain instances. Some of them have gotten through independent. But I'm telling you, in Homa Bay, that one I know for sure. That one, that one,
You,
the son of where is going to go with that one.
yeah.
And you know,
Oh,
I like Kasapul. I like Kasapul. So
you like the name.
I can tell you clearly that one. That one is
You, you know,
going.
you know that that area has got that the by election there. The elections in that place has been very brutal. The late
Mm,
Ongondo Were did a lot of atrocities during his time. There's a lot of blood that has been shed in that particular constituency.
mm,
I thought that this time round the party would realize that okay, fine, let these people decide and choose who can lead them, because they've been complaining about the improper leadership that has been there, the people. But the leadership of ODM was happy with Ongondowere. He was the darling of the party. So
mm,
yeah, I think they will get that kind of service from the sun. Yeah. Mm.
mm.
And
Okay.
even it's easy, Brother Benson, when you get another candidate from another place, if they
Mm.
put an independent candidate, it'll be hard for him to work in Homa Bay. It will be very hard,
No,
even
what
if they try
usually,
to put an independent.
what I've always witnessed, especially for those who have won through independent candidate, immediately they are sworn in, they tend to work with the especially the party ODM in those strong areas of ODM. But if you look at, well, Mzalendo, you can correct me. I think there's one ward in Homa Bay whereby was won by an independent candidate. That was MCA. I don't know which word is that, but like I'm sure there's one MCA that won through um, independent candidate. Even in Kisumu, we have somebody who went through independent candidate and he won, but he was from ODM though, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we will be watching, but something also I want you to comment, because we want to deal with ODM and go to Mbere. You know, today also at the Chungwa House, they were issuing direct certificate, especially for some aspirants. But the Secretary General of the party was missing. He was in Githunguri in the company of Caleb Amisi, Babu Owino, and Sifuna, you know, the Kenya Moja, they call it so. And he was missing. What does this one speak about? Does it mean that Sifuna is out, or there's a game that is being played that we do not know? I always think so. Because how
Hmm?
can you issue certificate yet the Secretary General is not around?
Uh, how does he Can you repeat the question, please? Sorry.
They were issuing out direct certificate, especially for some aspirants, yeah. And the Secretary General was not in Chungwa House. He was somewhere in Githunguri, um, doing empowerment for
Yeah.
cooperative.
Yes. Let me let me refresh my mind about this issue of is called Sifuna and ODM.
Mhm,
I've tried to really analyze what the game that is being played by Sifuna, Wamuchomba, and Babu Owino.
mhm,
Now, my take is this: uh, each and every politician has a price tag.
mhm,
As a price tag, their value could have gone very high up there, but it is no, they are not beyond William Ruto's reach. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Uh, I can tell you, with the years I've been in politics and the way I understand how politicians operate,
mhm,
they have already put a price tag on people like Sifuna. You've heard rumors that initially he was slotted for a cabinet position, which he missed, which was given to somebody else, and that could have agitated him a lot. Uh, I strongly know that William Ruto, before the elections, will do a cabinet reshuffle, and these young people will be robbed into the cabinet, and that
mhm.
will be the price they have to pay. Do you
So,
think that wait?
le-
Do you
le-
think that Babu Owino will refuse to work as a CS in William Ruto's government? Or do you think that Sifuna will refuse to work as a CS or even Wamuchomba in William Ruto's government? The answer is no, they will. And why am I telling you this? These
mhm,
are leaders who have said that they don't see anything special with Gachagua or anything special with Kalonzo. They don't really want to work with these opposition leaders. But at the same time, they are
mhm.
telling you that you know for us we oppose Ruto's government.
Yeah.
But even if they are opposing, they don't have a presidential candidate of that they are willing to work with. Yeah, don't have a presidential candidate they are willing to work with, but they are willing to work as lone rangers the way they are, the young turks in parliament. But I say that they all have a price, and very soon they will succumb. I can tell you because why do you think, Ben, that Sifuna has not been removed as the SG for the ODM party? Why do you
Mm.
think Babu Owino has not been called in for the before the disciplinary committee in ODM party? The
That
answer is
could be. That
yes.
could be. That.
Either they are holding the line, or they want the party affiliated. They want the party still to be associated with the young people, and these are the only people who are holding the line for the Orange Democratic Movement. Otherwise, it's just a game.
Okay, before I bring in Mr. Joseph, you've talked about, and I can see Gypsy Corner is with us here. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're doing fine. It's been long. You know, you've talked about them given position. So my question would be, why giving them position if at all they're not very influential? Because for to give them
The,
position
the,
means
the, the
you're
reason
trying to
why
flip
the
their
reason,
wings.
the reason why you give them position is to cool the political tension,
So to
or
who?
to manage. You know when you are given a position as a CS, a cabinet secretary, it means that the Nairobi senator, they'll have to get a new candidate for that seat. It means that for Embakasi, they have to get a new member of parliament. And of
Mm.
course, the same leaders will be throwing their weight behind a candidate supported by the broad-based government. So them, there will be the new lot of experts coming in to help Ruto's government to streamline affairs in maybe sports, any other thing or any other docket that they would fit in. So that's what I think they're doing, because there's no action that is being taken by the party. They tried to crucify Sifuna. You saw how the party leader came defending him, that they have got democratic rights to be where they want to be. But if you
Yes.
look back at the same party with
Mm.
people like Magarar, they
Mhm.
were kicked out by men in black. If you look at
Mm.
Ababu Namwamba, if you look at many people who have been in Sifuna's position, they were either been kicked out and they've never been left to last for so long in the party.
So, okay, now to me, this is what I think. I might be wrong, and I'm seeing Ayaga. Ayaga can see you. It has been long. Utuambie ulikuwa wapi. So this is what what I'm seeing. If that is the case, then Sifuna and Babu Owino are holding in brief for Baba or for ODM.
Yeah, they just want to be relevant. They want to be relevant on both sides, all
Mhm.
right,
Okay, all right.
of the political divide.
Okay, Mr. Joseph, you too, and I want to know your perspective, especially on Edwin Sifuna. The issuing of certificate is missing in action, but attending, we call it empowerment program. I would call it so, and I'm seeing this similarity of what president is doing of empowerment and Sifuna is doing. They're the same thing. Yeah, there's no difference.
Yeah, where are they getting the money?
Where are they getting the money? Because like Sifuna keeps on saying how the friends are doing, but it's the same empowerment. Yeah. So it is a replica of a broad-based government. And does it mean that
It's a broad-based parliament.
is a is does it mean that it is another extension of broad-based government to kind of like um, confuse, or not if to confuse, but to keep the conversation going. Meanwhile, some other issues are taking place.
Yeah,
You know,
thank you.
before
Okay.
Joseph comes in, sorry, Joseph, to interject. I had just this burning point that I wanted to make. You see, Ben, I will not be surprised that people like Amisi and everybody else coming around and telling us, we looked around and saw that this opposition are not organized. Yeah, and the way they are looking at things, they can't beat William Ruto. So what we have got no choice but to support the winning team. And William
Mhm.
Ruto has done so much. We were complaining, but amejirekebisha.
Yeah.
Yeah, amefanya ABCD. Ama hakuna mahali ninakwambia, each and every politician has a price
Mhm.
tag on their forehead.
Mm. Okay, Joseph, can you share with us your view, especially on what is happening? On Sifuna not being fully participating on the roles that he should be doing, signing those certificates, but he's in Githunguri. But at the same time, they're doing something that the broad-based government is doing. There's no difference.
I
Money is
think
money.
there's two things that are happening in ODM. One
Mm,
is that some Sifuna has been kept as he's not the insider cabinet now. You know, there is a cabinet in ODM who are
mm,
always the insider. I think
yeah.
now he has been left out. And the problem is when you are left out of these things, you'll not even be told that kuna watu wanapewa certificate. I highly even doubt he knew that kuna watu walikuwa wanapatiwa direct candidacy at that time when he was in that nini. Because and the problem is, ODM is at a dilemma because they also are not, they don't want to wage war on Sifuna. they are afraid of the spillover. You know, the spillover will be a problem in the senatorial election and the gubernatorial election in Nairobi. So they
Mhm.
don't want that spillover when they start fighting with Akin. Because even now you can see, if you look at the socios of ODM and the MPs from ODM, you don't see them fighting with Sifuna now. Have you been seeing them of late saying about Sifuna and Babu Ovino? They have kept quiet. And the way I know ODM, when you go against what Baba is doing, you're going to be called, and disciplinary action is going to happen. But I
Mm.
think these youngsters, I think these MPs youngsters, they have really ODM imeshindwa na hao youngsters. The like of Akina Jalango. You remember even Jalango, there is nothing that happened to him. So I think
No,
this one
They
is,
were taken through. They were taken through the process.
no.
They went up to court. No,
Remember, let me tell you one thing. When you look at, I think you listen to what Omondi Karoli, Honorable Omondi Karoli said. I don't know whether Mzalendo you had an opportunity to watch the interview by Honorable Karoli Omondi
what did he say?
about the decision they made themselves to go and visit the president and tell the president to bring development, you know. And in his interview, there's something that he said that with them they went on the broad daylight, but they knew or they had information that there's people who are visiting the president at night.
yeah. I remember
Yeah.
them saying this.
He said that, you know. So when you find Jalango, especially Jalango, when they went, first of all, they were nicknamed as they were traitors, you know, the
Mm.
betrayers of the community. Remember? And there was even a day when there was a meeting somewhere where Jalango was blocked from attending that meeting. Remember, it was in Langata.
No, it was not in Langata. It was
Where was
somewhere
it at?
in Machakos.
In Machakos. Jalango was blocked. And there was also the dispute on how they wanted. There was that scuffle between Mark Nyamita and Ochila Yako, and remember on how it happened. You know, you know. But now, after everything has fallen in place, now things are okay. You know. So, but for Sifuna and Babu Owino and Caleb Amisi, from the look of things, to me, I still believe that they're just holding in brief. And how are they holding in brief? There's this quarters of ODM supporters who feel that Baba should not work with President William Ruto, you know. So by Sifuna trying to fight that, he's holding them. That is saying that, making them nurse this hope that Sifuna is fighting hard for us, because they are lovers of the party. Yeah. So by Sifuna keep on doing that and Babu Owino, they are holding that constituency in brief, so that when there's that fallback, in case if the Baba comes back and say that now we are organizing, putting our houses in order, I say that okay, Sifuna has won. Sifuna, that is what I think.
I don't think ODM can make a turnaround and tell people that we are putting our house in order. We'd have a candidate in
Mm.
2027, but it is Kenyan politics. They can do that and get
Or
away with it.
or what can happen is this. What can happen is this, like now maybe the likes of Sifuna, they will say, okay, we try our best, but from the look of things, we are saying that uh, when we compare maybe the team of Rigathi Gachagua and the team of President William Ruto, we feel that the team of President William Ruto is better off than that of Rigathi Gachagua.
You see, when the team, yes, that is what I had said in
Yeah.
earlier.
Mhm.
You see what uh, if you look at the by-elections that are coming.
Yeah.
You've said that ODM was issuing certificate direct nominations in areas
In
where,
particular areas,
in
we have
particular
like
areas,
Magarini. I think they give.
yeah, in those
Yeah.
areas like Magarini,
Mhm.
does the UDA have a candidate in Magarini?
I don't know whether they might fail in a candidate. They still have that opportunity.
Hmm? And
They do.
who was the MP?
The MP was on ODM, remember? And
Yeah,
they fought.
you will, if I'm not wrong, they might not field a candidate there.
Mm,
Yeah, in the spirit of the broad-based government.
government. Hmm.
Just the same way in Kasipul, UDA will not field a candidate in
Hmm.
Kasipul.
Yeah.
Although there are people who might have wanted to run uh, with a UDA ticket. People like the Odoyo Widi, I think he would have loved to run with a UDA ticket on a UDA ticket in that area, but I think the power told him no. This is ODM. We are giving it to Boyd. So
Mm,
the next moment you'll be seeing the young boy in State House with William Ruto, and William Ruto giving him a flank or a
yeah.
blessing that go my son and win that seat for us. For us, you know, it is for us now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is the dynamics of our politics, Mr. Ben.
You
Say
know,
hi to Gypsy Corner. Long time. I've not seen you for a while, for a minute.
and we are here having, hey, brother Ben, this is brother and Mzalendo Laban Misiani. Laban Misiani,
Oh,
thank you.
Laban, long time, my
Eh, eh,
brother. Not seen you for a while.
you
Mm.
know, the broad-based government is quite much complex, and you know, as you said earlier, when you look at the Kenya Moja, the Kenya Moja, the the group of Babu Owino, Wamushomba, Caleb Amisi, Kibagendi, and all that, you know, when you look at it critically and you look at them and evaluate what is their goal, because, like, you know, a third force, they tend to be
They
neutral.
they have no significance. I have tried to look at what they are bringing on the table or what they really want. I can't place them anywhere.
Mm,
You know, and the moment they say that, you know, we don't want to work with William Ruto, and at
mm,
the same broad-based government is really working on what, on a very dynamic and transparent way
of
of,
agreement.
of agreement. uh,
Mhm,
when when they say that they don't want to work with William Samoei Ruto, and at
yeah.
the same time they
Mhm.
don't want to work with Gachagua, and at the same time they don't want to work with Kalonzo, and they don't have a presidential candidate.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
and you know, it's good morning here in Kenya. Is Mzalendo doing long long time indeed, but sisi atubanduki.
No, Laban Msiani, unajua hii ni Biblia ya siasa. Hapa utakuwa kila saa utakuwa unasoma mzalendo bwana, ulituambia. Mi nimekuambia mambo mingi na zinafanyika vile mi nasema tu. So
Mm.
hapa we soma tu polepole, nitakwambia ule mtu atashinda uchaguzi 2027. Wewe kuwa tu na huyo candidate wako tu tam. Sisi ndio
Yeah.
tulimweka pale. Sisi ndio tulimweka pale na sisi ndio tutamng'oa kama tunataka kumng'oa.
Okay.
So yeah.
Joseph is back. Joseph, maybe when you look at critically the third force, that is the Sifunas, the Babus, the Wamushomba, the so-called the young leaders who want to bring transformation, and with their transformation, there's no clear pathway that we are seeing that they have a presidential candidate, they have a political party, because they do not have a political party. Yeah, they are leaderless because they do not have somebody that we can say that this is their spokesperson. You know, they don't have a party, and they don't like the President William Ruto. Neither do they like the united opposition. They have some question marks and some dots to be filled. So what is their role, especially now in politics? Now, what is their role?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I can answer just as Mzalendo said. They can be they're double playing. They want to see how they can gain from this. And
Mm,
I'm very sure if they are given CS positions, they can take them in a heartbeat. So
Yep.
they are trying to gamble and see. For Gathoni wa Mushomba, it will be difficult for her. But for the so like Sakina, Babu Wino, and Sifuna, it's
Mm-hmm.
very easy. Maybe they are trying to play their games and see if they can be able to get. They can be. They are playing two games. They want to see if they have the might, and
Yeah.
the other one is to see if they can be able to create a deal for themselves. These politicians, they are all about their interests. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
there is no day a politician will tell you, I'm fighting for you. Just know he's fighting for himself and his interest. There is no fighting that is fighting for you. But more so Kenyan politicians, when they start telling you they are fighting for you, just know they 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 have something that is they want from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking maybe they what Sifuna lacked is that CS position that he was supposed to be given, so he got angry. That is another story that you can also bring up. So he
Yeah.
got angry and now he's trying to forge away and show that hata mkijaribu kunikataza hii position, I think nitawasumbua sana mpaka itabidi tu munipatie, because I'm sure if Sifuna is called today and told that he's going to be given a CS position of interior hiyo mambo yote mnasikia akipiga Ruto atanyamaza tu na abadilike atabadilika
Mm.
once mshindwe, kwani what has happened. Babu Owino if
Okay.
is given a CS for something, maybe even youth,
Mm-hmm.
utasikia amebadilika haraka sana na ameanza kusifu serikali. So this is all about the same jungle. Unasemanga shamba ni moja, lakini wanyama ndio tu wanashinda wakibadilika kwa style zao zile wanataka.
Wanataka
So
na
that
kusema
is that.
tu tukisema tu ukweli, tuseme kwamba okay, ndio they want to be in competition, they want to compete against the candidacy of President William Ruto, and we have the Gachagua side. To be very honest, especially, how the campaigns, for especially the presidential campaigns in our country, how expensive it is. Let us just look at the monetary value, especially on the Kenya Moja, and the look at the president. Let's just compare them with the president. Can they really match president in terms of logistics?
No, that is one is a lie. They cannot match the president.
So
Presidency needs, brother. Do you know how much money is needed for an MP to become to how much money is needed for a campaign for an MP? It's almost, now they raise the bar here. Even they are using almost 10 million
mhm,
and above.
mhm.
And for MCA
Yani,
is
you are
going
saying
close to
10
1 million.
million.
No, I'm saying from 10 million going up. See,
Ah,
kama
yeah,
vile
yeah.
ulikuwa unasikia from 1 million. So now it has raised the bar from 10 million. You are hearing.
I,
No, it depends. It depends 10 million as well. If
Yeah.
it is 10 million in the Ukambani region, it
Mhm,
will be a bit easier. But there is in
yeah,
places like
maybe
Nairobi where you
Ukambani,
need.
maybe huko Ukambani huko.
Yeah,
mhm.
that's
But
why I'm saying it
in areas
depends.
where I
Ona kama
come from,
Nairobi, you need around 100 million to do the campaign.
let me tell you one thing. One thing that you don't know, Joseph. Having doing elections in Nairobi is much easier than doing it in the rural areas. One, there is accessibility. The areas are ziko karibu karibu. If you want to cover Nairobi, you'll cover it very easily within a day. But
Mhm.
in a rural area, it spans, and sometimes there are areas that have no roads. Now, this is the catch. Nairobians like yourself have got something that they are doing. They will not wait for you in a rally to kuja uambie tunataka kufanya nini. The civil servants will not go on those rallies. It is only the idlers wale watakuwa wamekuwa mobilized, and you have to mobilize them with money.
Mm.
So ukiwa mobilize wakuja kwa function yao, na ni function kidogo kidogo tu, you'll do some town halls hapa na
Mhm.
pale, na mambo yako ienee, and then some social media. But
Yes.
in the rural area, there is no communication other than to go physically to the people on the ground,
Mm.
and it is very expensive. I remember we were running with one of the governors. I will not mention his name. I think now two times I've
Yeah.
run with different governors. in the terrain, and I can tell you that when that chopper ukitoa hiyo chopper Nairobi ufike mahali kama Nyanza, hiyo ni 200,000. And then how we used to mobilize is that we go in a locality, like if you are coming to your constituency or your ward, hiyo chopper inapiga round hivi, and every other villager anajua kuna siasa hapa kwa hii kiwanja.
What a
Ikiland namna hii, the whole village, by the time the blades chopper ina settle na guest anaenda kwa dais, the whole village tayari iko hapo kwa hiyo kiwanja, imeshajaa,
okay.
people are idle. So
Mm.
hata kama alikuwa kwa shamba analima, anakuambia aliwacha kulima akakuja kwa mkutano yako. Baadaye hiyo huko kwetu naona governor analainisha watu, wazee simama pande hii, wamama simama pande hii, vijana simama pande hii,
Mm.
and pesa wanapewa sasa, shika 200, 200, 200, 500, 500. In
Mm.
every other stop, a governor uses about 400,000 shillings.
That's a lot of money, Mr. Mzalendo.
400. Now MP is the same thing. MP will use in that particular sitting, yani utapata yani hiyo ametumia milioni moja kutoa watu.
Mm. Okay.
Yani tu wiki moja ukiangalia ile pesa mwanasiasa anatumia, mimi nakwambia kwa sababu mimi nimekuwa kwa hii mchezo. Nakwambia
Okay.
unaangalia mpesa yako. Hii ni pesa umetransact kwa mpesa hivi. Unafuata inafika 7 million. Na
Yeah.
unashindwa okay. Hii
So as I
pesa
was saying,
umepeana wapi?
so I was saying zikuwe ziko expensive or something. I was saying that for them to do that campaign, it is very hard because I was just trying to just look at a simple MP or a governor campaign. Now imagine a presidential campaign.
And
What does
who
it take for you?
Wewe
How much
hao
money?
watu mimi hata sitaki tusiongee juu yao kwa sababu hata
okay.
hawana
No,
chama.
I,
They
I
don't
think
even have a political
the
party.
only I think the only party who can be able to come close to what Ruto is doing is Gachagua faction. You know,
Even Matiang'i has been in government and he has got
yeah.
friends and resources. He can
That's why I'm
match.
saying that the united opposition can try to come close because they have even friends and some people like Gachagua, you know, they have they have liquidity.
Okay.
So I think that is that one Kenya moja hiyo
No,
ni too
yeah,
pressure.
you have friends, you have people who can come and sponsor your candidate.
To me,
But
I believe, that Kenya moja, there's something that I believe all of them, including Wamushomba, Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna,
Kenya moja
Kibagenge.
ni gani? Hiyo Kenya moja ni gani?
See, the new one. How
Oh,
do you call it?
inaitwa Kenya moja.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know the name.
So what is happening? I think they are holding brief for their masters. They are holding brief for their masters to keep the conversation going. So let's turn our focus into Mbeere North. Mbeere North is quite much interesting because the reason why it is interesting is the front runner who was supposed to be a DCP candidate dumped the DCP and went to Moses Kuria's party. Moses Kuria is back, and and we have Jubilee because there were rumors that Jubilee were filling in a candidate. But from what Pauline Joroge posted, it means they're not filling in a candidate. Rigathi Gachagua, who actually kind of like terminated or put his US tour in brief that is coming to Kenya to campaign for the candidate, now does not have a candidate. He's going to support DCP candidate. And people are asking that how is he going to manage if he cannot test the waters now? Because that was what people were testing, his influence in Mount Kenya were going to be tested in the Mbeere North, but now he's supporting the DCP candidate. What does that one mean to Rigathi Gachagua, maybe even next general election, to the election that is going to take place right now? is it portraying a weak candidacy, or is it portraying that he still doesn't have that power to go head on hand with, especially the candidate that is for the UDA, because it's going to be William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua. That was people were looking at. But now Rigathi Gachagua is not there. We're seeing Muturi. Joseph, that is your area. Tell us what is happening in Mbeere North.
Yeah, first I want to you know, Laban tulikuwa na kikao na yeye siku ingine hapo tukaletana juu sana, so he wants to he wants to pay back. Let me start by saying,
Father Danny, thank you so much.
yeah, he's saying it's been infiltrated. Let me start by saying, any side that is being supported by the so-called Moses Kuria, or the person who is supported by Moses Kuria, is not going to win that by-election. I know it as a fact. We are going to wait and see, but I know it as a fact. But the problem that is going to come there is maybe those guys try to vote for independent. That is the only problem that can come in. But as far as I'm concerned, there are people, you know, in Mount Kenya region, information always pass through. And is not is as Muzalendo was saying, in Mount Kenya region is a place where it is very simple to do campaigns. Because when they hate something, and you go and pacify what they are saying, it's very easy for you to do a campaign there. Yeah, people have been talking about how they were against Raila, and everybody who could have gone and spoke about Raila, against Raila, they could give you a vote, and you could become the MP. That is what happens. So that is still going on, and they know Moses Kuria as a traitor. That is what they take him as. And I'm telling you, it is going to be very hard for Moses Kuria, because the only four parties that are in Mount Kenya. Which one? It's only DCP, Jubilee, no, they are around 5. There is DP, there is PNU, and there is this one, Tujibebe. Not Tujibebe, this one, DCP, TSP. Is TSP or what? What do we call? No, CCK, I don't know. That one for Moses Kuria. So Moses Kuria, I don't remember the name. So I think most of the parties they have laid down, because even Jubilee, if you see Jubilee laying it down and saying to support United in any opposition, they know what goes on there, and they know that the opposition, the United opposition, are going to, the candidate is going to take them. And you know the problem is,
I have a question. I have a question to you guys. Now, I'm not really keen on Mbeere politics, but I don't know whether Gachagua has got a candidate in Mbeere.
No, this is what, let me just give you brief. In the week, Rigathi Gachagua had a presser, and he said they're going to support the DP candidate. And remember, that constituency, it was for a DP. You know, Ruku was a notorious
DP.
candidate.
Oh, yeah. So I understand why Gachagua does not have a candidate. That's what I wanted to understand.
So
that's why I wanted to finish and say, you know, DP, Justin Muturi is from Mbeere. He's from Mbeere. So that's why he was given that mantle to be able and do campaigns there. Because you know, you cannot say that between Gachagua and Muturi, Gachagua has inroads there in Mbeere. Obviously, Muturi has inroads there inside. But the problem where I can see is if there is an independent candidate who can be fielded. But people are very skeptical of these independent candidates. You know, so most of them are saying they are being used as projects by Ruto to come and. So I think the United is going to get that seat.
Let
me ask Danny. Danny is bringing something here that is quite much important
There's
here.
no United. There is a United UDA or United what?
No,
United
the
opposition.
United opposition. This is the side of Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah, they are backing one candidate. Yeah,
they are backing one candidate. So
yeah, and there's also an independent candidate in that constituency.
There might. So maybe Father Dan is bringing in this aspect of clanism, and I don't know how it plays because I've never been in Mbeere. So, like maybe Father Danny, if you can elaborate for us further, about which clan maybe has the highest majority of population when
And
you're
then
looking at it.
there is also the governor who is who has got influence, and she is supporting the UDA candidate.
She's the chair.
Yeah, she's supporting the UDA candidate. Now
She has.
this election is going to be tricky.
Let me tell you about the governor, as Father Dan says about clans. The
Mm,
governor is not saying, there has no say in this MP by-election in Bere. She is
mm,
even going to be defeated. I think when she'll be defeated, I think she'll keep quiet. You know, in Embu, you know, Bere is in Embu. And Embu is very, you know, Embu has been the total resistance of Ruto. Even when you see where the resistance between Mount Kenya started, it started in Embu when Ruto and Uhuru and Rigathi were in a function of the ordaining of the one certain bishop of Catholic. It
yeah.
started there, and he has been there. Embu has been against you know when you see people, but the problem is now you see people like Akina Mukonji, they are feeling very bad because I don't know if they are going to be Gachagua is going to talk to them, but people like Akina Mukonji, they are feeling left out because they are saying the party should have shielded the DCP party should have shielded. But I think they came and they took some talking and they said because hii kiti ilikuwa ya DCP ya DP, hakuna haja sisi kukuja kuchukua hii kiti. Ilikuwa ya
Mhm,
DP, wacha mjipange mrudishe hiyo nini hiyo candidates so that you can return the candidacy as DP.
mhm.
But I know Jubilee, you know Jubilee also. We are talking about DCP, we are forgetting Jubilee. What has Jubilee seen in front? Because you cannot say we are going to field a candidate, then we say we are not going to field a candidate. What have they seen that most of
But
us cannot see?
from what I'm reading, it could be that the candidate who was fronted, it could have been a propaganda from what I read. I might be wrong, but like it seemed it was a propaganda to
Mimi na
show that.
mimi ukiniuliza Jubilee will work with the UDA. Wacha kuwapotezea wakati.
Okay, now Joseph, maybe to look it in further, and talking about Moses Kuria, Moses Kuria has been working with the president until very late. He resigned as an advisor to the president, and when you look at the comments of especially the comment section, people are viewing it as somebody who is a spoiler. He has come to divide the votes. And can that one play a part whereby people would say that we're not going to vote for you because you are somebody who might be sent by the president to come and make sure that our votes are divided, so we could not, so the DCP or the DP person should not win?
Now, Ben, you are referring to Moses Kuria. Does he have a candidate?
Yeah, Moses Kuria is actually the candidate for Moses Kuria. He was supposed to run with DCP, and it
What is
dumps
his
DCP.
name? What is his name?
I cannot remember his name, but I know he was supposed to run with DCP. Then before DCP made a conclusive decision to support DP, Moses Kuria gave him certificate for that. I can look for it. Father Danny, can you please help us with his name? Father Danny might help us.
I don't think Kuria is a candidate.
Kuria is a candidate,
He had, he
Mzalendo.
had, I think he backed out. He chickened out.
When?
I don't think he has a candidate there.
Kuria is a candidate.
Just check it out. But anyway, that election is a litmus test for Gachagua and
No,
William.
Kuria has a candidate. That
Yeah.
guy shifted
What,
to Kuria's camp. The
which
one who was
party?
in DCP. The one who was in DCP.
No, which
Yeah.
party? Which Kuria? Which is Kuria's party?
Kuria has
The
a party called Chama
Kuria is
cha Kazi. CCK. Chama cha Kazi.
Hebu Google uangalie kama Kuria kuna candidate. Look at the candidates who are vying.
Mzalendo.
Candidate wa DCP, nimewambia candidate wa DCP shifted to Kuria's party
Kuria's party.
because he was not given a chance. They said they are going to support DP. Let me check that name of that guy. I forgot his
Yeah.
name. And he was even involved in, you see, when Gachagua was coming, the
Mm.
day Gachagua was coming from the airport, I think his car was smashed. I remember. in the when they were. Let me check. I think his name is.
What is his name?
Well, let me check the name. I have him. Let me check in my mobile. Set the mobile. But I know he shifted to to Chama cha Kazi, Curious Party.
Is it called Duncan Mbui or who?
Let me check. I'll be checking. I
Yeah, they say
forgot.
that. Yeah, I think you should.
Duncan Mbui was initially the candidate who
Yeah,
was
Duncan
being
Dewey.
fronted.
That was supposed to be a DCP candidate. Duncan Mbui.
Yeah. He was a DCP candidate. I remember even they wanted to. His car had
But
been.
but right now is which is you are googling there. He belongs to which party?
Moses Kuria.
Moses
Now
Kuria.
he did not have a party. He
He
did not
doesn't have a
run.
party. I'm telling you, you are talking about things that you had the other day. But as it is right now, that candidate Moses Kuria, uh, as it is this hour, I'm talking to you. Moses Kuria does not have a candidate.
No, he
Mm.
has. That
His
candidate was
political
being fronted by DCP
political
for
party is
Bere.
not contesting. His political party is not contesting in that seat. His
Why are you
political
saying that?
party is not contesting in that
Why are you
seat.
saying that? We can see he's contesting direct with Chama cha Kazi. Moses Kuria party, it shifted from DCP to CCK. He has shifted. He was in DCP. By the way, you are saying he was not in a party. He was a member of DCP. DCP has only been 2 months in function. So he was a member of
No,
DCP. And he has shifted to
he was initially endorsed by Gachagua on
yeah,
DCP and
yeah.
DCP, and
And
now
Gachagua said we are
he has
not going to
shifted
field
to
any
Chama cha
candidate in
Kazi.
there.
Anyway, let us wait and see what develops in that constituency, Ambere. But I think Muturi and his team are going to carry the day.
He has already been given a certificate for Chama cha Kazi as we are talking. So he's
Yeah.
running on Chama cha Kazi. So
Mm,
the
but
problem is actually
this is this is
this
just a
one was
spoiler.
he was not into Chama cha Kazi. The problem was the DCP said they are not going. He knew that if he runs with DCP, he's going to win that seat. So that's why he was cleaning so much on DCP. So when Gachagua, and I think Gachagua always have insiders. Maybe
No, I think
that guy could have been voted for. Then
what has informed Gachagua and his team is that if they had a candidate running against DP, they would split their votes and UDA would win. It's just simple.
yeah,
Okay.
and also I take it as what Brother Benson.
Mhm.
Do you know the first person to be elected at the UDA was who? It
Was
was a guy called Kanjiko.
Ken Wanjiko Kiamba?
Yeah. Do you see Kanjiko in the link in how in the politics how he links to what side he links to, even the kind of rhetorics he talks. So I think they are afraid of something like that to
Oh,
repeat itself. Kawanjiko
okay.
was one of the people who said that they want Gachagua out.
Yeah.
You remember?
Okay.
So I think they also that Duncan Bui maybe. I always say some maybe somebody is doing due diligence on these candidates and seeing these candidates is. But
Okay.
I don't know about him. That Bui, I don't know about him too much. But I know as long as he has gone to Chama cha Kazi, that
Mhm.
seat is gone. You
Okay.
atapata.
Okay, before we leave to that, and maybe if you're watching us for the very first time, this is Brother Benson. You can always subscribe so that when we have a conversation like this Saturday morning, the YouTube will always notify you, so you become part of the conversation. So, Mr. Joseph, because when you're looking at the Mbere, especially Mbere North, it was a context. People were seeing that it was a competition that was going to be between Rigathi Gachagua influence and President William Ruto. But now we see Rigathi Gachagua does not have a candidate. We have the DP. Can still people view it that way, or it should now be united opposition against President William Ruto?
No, it is still a William Ruto Rigathi Gachagua affair because if you check, there is a UDA candidate. who is being supported by the governor, and there is a DP candidate who is being supported by the former Attorney General and the former Deputy President. So this is a showdown, and I'm very sure we'll go one of these days to do a campaign for that candidate of UDA. And
Okay.
I'm very sure that the DP, former DP, and the Attorney General, we are going to go and do a campaign for their candidacy. So that is going to be a showdown. That one, it's just because it is not directly in the party of DCP, yeah, but it is a showdown. That one is a full show. I think even they were trying to remove the noise. Unajua hii kelele ingekuwa mingi, DP wanataka kuwa na candidate wao, DCP wanataka candidate wao. Now they have removed that noise. Jubilee inataka kuwa na candidate wao. Sasa hiyo noise yote imeondolewa. Sasa kumebakia ni clear way. Is either a UDA versus a DP candidate. Unajua huyo chama cha kazi wachana, that one is just coming to spoil the vote. But the real maybe that chama cha kazi can be a second person, because I know UDA will lose terribly. I know UDA will lose very terribly. Maybe they will be number 3 in that race. So I'm saying it is a showdown between, and also it's a showdown between Muturi and Cecil Barire.
Yeah, I don't think UDA will come number 2. I don't think they can lose that badly, because the governor is there, and the governor has got support also.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
the governor, brother, the governor is knocked down. She has been. Did you see that Mukunji is doing campaigns even in the Embu town city? And he can marshal people. I think the governor is left in limbo and in shock, because she's also cleaning for she's cleaning for also Mercy, because even her, she thinks she's going to be shown the door in 2020. If she stands with UDA, she's going to be shown the door. I'm telling you, this is what is happening in this kind of parts. And I think even her, she knows. And she's. Do you see Idongo Kangata going to Statehouse yesterday?
Actually, that is what we want to discuss.
You never saw it. So before we talk, as we finish, so that we can go to those other stories. Cecily Barile, when it comes to the tail end, I think is going to abandon UDA. That is what I think.
Oh, are you sure? And she's the chair lady of the party.
Yeah, I'm very sure. There is nothing like chair. It is not now. When you come to election, is either you want to win the seat or you want to stand like the people like Akina Kenyan. Do you remember Akina Kenyan? They were good performance, but what happened? They were swept. So that is what is going to happen in 2020. I'm saying more so in Mount Kenya. It's going to be a sweeping match for those people. It's a problem for people in Mount Kenya to see. Embu Nani has been playing very genius politics. People might underrate him, but he was a very genius man. The guy called Wambora. You see Wambora? Wambora was playing very. He was not a developer. He did not develop Embu, but he was playing a very genius kind of politics. And I think that is what is lacking with Cecily Barire. Cecily Barire ni ule mtu wa kuingia kifua. Na yote. I think that is lacking in her.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Joseph, and thank you for everyone who is watching us both in Facebook in 2 channels. That is Brother Benson and Afrique24. If you're not subscribed to any of the channel, please do so, because we usually have this conversation every Saturday morning. We call them the recap. And Mzalendo, before we talk about what happened, the State House visit that was done by the Abagusi community and also the Muranga community, let's touch something about the Malava. This is Kakamega County, whereby also DCP has not filled in candidate. And they say that DPK will carry the flag of united opposition. And I want you to look at it in terms of the influence of Malala, because I think this was a perfect opportunity for Malala to prove himself that he has a voice in Kakamega County, especially by bringing in a candidate. What does that one mean to Malala?
No. These guys are playing. They have studied the politics and the patterns of how Kenyan votes on tribal lines and on party affiliation. Now, the people of Westerns, you know very well that DCP will be a foreign entity in Western Kenya. It's like trying to it's like attempting to sell pork in a mosque
Mm,
in Western. So DCP most likely would not have would not would not have won any seat in Western, especially this by elections which are coming. They're
yeah.
coming too soon. The party needs to a strong grassroots support and a
Mhm.
strong grassroots base, which I think Malala has not built or Gachagua has not built in Western Kenya. So the person who has built that grassroots network and support, although weak, but has got at least an MP, is Eugene Momalo with his DAP. So Eugene is also an opportunity for him to prove himself that we can grab one more seat in Malava, because this is where I come from. This is the language my people speak, and they
Mm,
speak the language of DAP. So we can take UDA and add on if we are the only candidates between us and UDA, because I strongly believe that ODM might not feel a candidate in Malava, and if
mhm.
they feel a candidate in Malava, then the DPA, it's called DAP candidate will have
That Kenya.
yeah, the DAP candidate will have an upper hand.
Okay. Before I invite Joseph, remember the Malava constituency, that seat belonged to ANC. But as we speak today, the NC folded. Actually, the NC doesn't exist. And Mudavadi, remember the other day, Mudavadi was complaining, he wanted to bring his person. How is Mudavadi influence going to play part, especially if he doesn't have a political party that he owns?
Yeah, thank you. I think this is a showdown between two people. You know, there's showdowns everywhere. This is a
Yeah.
showdown between Mudavadi and Malala, and that's why you had and
Mhm.
also not also Malala only,
Yeah.
also for Eugene Wamala. They want to show the person who can really speak. You know now, Mulembe Nation is very confused as we speak in, because they have different factions. We have a
Yeah.
faction that is supporting. It is divided. There is a faction supporting Davadi, another one Retangula, another one is supporting Raila, another one is supporting DAP, which is run by Amamalwa, and another one is supporting the likes of Akina Natembea. You see, so there is different factions there, and it depends on the concentration of where the campaign is being done. So Malava initially was a ANC stronghold. And now, being an ANC stronghold, it means it is going to be a UDA the candidate of UDA is the one who is going to be marshalling it up against a DAP candidate. So I think here politics is going to center much more on developments, and more so on what if the government has done anything for the people of Malava. That one is going to be that one, by the way, is going to be the hardest by-election we will see. That one for Malava will be the hardest by-election we are going to see. Leave the one from Bere. Bere is easier. That one for Kasipul is easier, but that one for Malava is going to be one of the hardest by-elections you're going to have, because it is going to be centered on if the government under Musalia Mudavadi, who is supporting the government, if they have done something for the citizens of Malava or the constituents of Malava, or the other people in the other side saying that what the government has not done to them. Because if it was an ANC stronghold, it means obviously Musalia Mudavadi needs to talk about it. So that one is
So
a showdown between the government,
how
between Musalia Mudavadi and.
let's look at Mudavadi first, because like you're talking about the UDA. How will Mudavadi kind of like convince the people, especially with a party that is not from within?
Now
Because like
that is the question. That is the
because
real
like
question. That's why
if,
I'm saying it's going to be hard.
if you look at how now people are voting, now this parties, now people are now taking this party based on the regional, what Mzalendo said earlier. So how also will you convince, especially if
And
you want to bring somebody of your personal interest? Because
and
like,
the question, Brother Benson, that will be among those people, and you
yeah,
hear in the campaigns, they are going to be asking, wewe unataka kutuuza kwa chama gani? That will be
yeah,
the question. That will be the on the campaign trail. That will be kutakuwa na chama. DAP will be fronting itself as chama cha Western.
yeah,
Then there will be a function of Musalia Mudavadi who is trying to convince the people that tukivote UDA tutakuwa tukivotia serikali, but some people will be asking him, you folded your party, so which party are you taking us? They have seen certain things, like for example, the way Gachagua was impeached. If Gachagua had his party, he could have not been impeached that easily.
yeah.
Ingekuwa a very hard time to impeach Gachagua if he came in that agreement with his party. But the
Mhm.
problem is Musalia Mudavadi had a party, he sold his party, he entered and folded it. So they're going to be asking, ukikuja kutupeleka kwa huko and you folded the party, tunatupeleka wapi? Is this a Western party? So that is the politics that are going to be majoring in the Western, and it's going to be a hard a hard by election.
This is Martin Oguta. Kasipul is no joke. ODM is struggling. We'll be here. Martin, are you from that area? Kindly share with us. Sisi hiyo ndio tunataka kusikia habari, tunataka kusikia how are the views and what are people talking about. Okay, Mzalendo, do you have something to say about Mudavadi and Malava constituency? Mudavadi, Malala, Eugene Wamalwa?
That constituency, it's like a swing. It can go anywhere, anywhere. It can go either in with UDA, or it can go uh, with the other party,
Mm,
DAP. And one being that Mudavadi is also very, very influential, and
mm,
by elections are are very expensive elections to run. At the same time, the turnout is very, very low. It
mhm,
might not give you the whole picture of what the Malava people think, but it will give you an overview of what will happen in 2027. So this is going to be a very, very tight race because it's pitting two Luya leaders. One has got a very strong network among his community, which is the Cabras clan. The Cabras clan is the largest clan in Malava. So
mhm.
Mudavadi identifies with that particular clan. But again, we have got leaders like Malala. We have got leaders uh, like uh, the guy from Tanzania, the governor, is called Natembea, who
Natembea.
are also going to be injecting in that particular constituency so
Mm.
that they give the Luya people a new direction. So this is going to be a very, very tight race. And what I can say, it's a 50-50 race between UDA and Deep DAP.
To me, from what I'm seeing, I see DAP Kenya winning it because, like, the personality of Panyako. Panyako has a very good influence in that area. So not even the party, but like the personality itself, the name Panyako. Remember, the Panyako you're talking about really campaigned for President William Ruto in 2022. They were among, especially the people who are very, very influential in President William Ruto campaign. So despite not looking at the party, but I feel like the personality of Panyako also with the person that they're going to confront, I don't think they might beat Panyako. So to me, I'm betting on Deep Dap Kenya winning the Malava constituency.
The problem, Brother Benson, is you see these by-elections.
Yeah.
These by-elections, they don't want to prove a good leader. This
Mm.
by-election is battlegrounds, drawing battle lines. It's not all about developments. It's not all about what the leader can bring to you. If it was all about what a leader can bring to you,
Mm,
you know, in the Nini, the Kareri Jama versus Kawanjiko, Kareri
mm.
Jama had done so much for those people, and he was the best candidate to win that Nini. But because the
Mm.
battle lines had been drawn between Uhuru and Ruto, they voted for Kawanjiko. And
But
that's why I'm telling you, is this one by-election is just to flex. First, by-elections that come closer to the election,
mm.
they are the ones that are used to flex your muscles and see
A-
what you are going to do in the main election, general
and
election.
also you look at them, especially when you look at the one for Kawanjiko, and it will also, it came at a point whereby there was that betrayal kind of politics, especially President Uhuru supporting, having that working relations with Raila, you know, so that one also could have played a part,
Yeah,
and again, accessibility, something that Ruto did during those times, that he was easily accessible as compared to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So
yeah.
people thought that, okay, he holds the answers, more answers, yeah, than
Also for
Uhuru
the,
Kenyatta.
for the candidates that are always supported by the government, most
Yeah.
of them they fail, because people people always, watu wako bado na makasiriko ya serikali.
And
There is no government that will ever be in power na watu watasema hiyo government iko sawa. Hata wakati
mm,
Kibaki alikuwa, watu
mm,
walikuwa na complain, maybe the president, you can say, who uplifted the economy, and not only in Kenya, in so many places you'll hear them saying the government is not popular. I don't know. Maybe Mzalendo can help us to know which government has ever been popular, because most of them, they are unpopular, and the candidates that they feel, it's always very hard for the government candidates in the nini. Hata hiyo campaign, unajua hata Ruto mwenyewe, he's tied up with some work, so for the campaigning of the candidate of the government is always very tricky. It's very tricky. That's why
okay,
you hear them. That's why you hear them saying that Raila alibeba mzigo ya Uhuru.
yeah, okay.
That's what you hear.
All right, thank you so much. And for many of us who knows Stone PK, the other day I saw it when we were at Njiru's place. Stone PK will be running for an elective post, so you can also check with him. He has also a channel. I hope he will be coming online more often so that he can articulate issues
He'll
and
be running for which seat? Where?
I think is Stone will be Stone PK.
Oh, in this by-election.
No, in the next general election, 2027,
Oh,
Stone PK will be running.
mm.
Yeah, he
Oh,
has declared. So, and I hope he will come, and he will come up with a tail. So those who can support Stone PK, they can do so. That is all allowed. So we will also be engaging him in our platform to ask him what are the gaps that he feels is going to fill in the position that he's vying for. So that is something that we also will be doing. But that is a good move for Stone PK and for us who have been in this platform talking about good leadership. Sasa aende huko alafu aende abadilike, na amekuwa akipiga hapa kelele ati anataka uongozi bora. Hiyo
nakwambia
itamchapa eh?
CDF inaroga watu bana.
Inaroga watu akuja hapa aanze kusema
Akienda simu inapotea, namba inapotea.
Ya boss, hii
hiyo,
mambo unaongeaga kwa social media si
ama
inaitoka vindu vichenjanga.
ama anataka ama anataka retirement benefit, ndio maana sasa anaenda huko, tutamuuliza.
na
Sasa
brother Benson, before you have said, unajua umeongea kuhusu Muranga. Muranga is a very tricky county.
Yeah.
You find yourself, you are calling the leaders for Muranga, and you find yourself ending up with the former governor instead
Yeah,
of the governor.
and let us
It's very
just
tricky.
let's discuss about the issue of Muranga, because one thing that happened in the issue of Muranga, I saw two things. One, ever since the Kiambu went, we did not see Rigathi Gachagua also having some county assembly members doing the press at the same time they were meeting the president. That is different. Secondly, is also the president the people who accompanied the residents who went to the State House, they were accompanied by the former governor, that is Mwangi wa Iria. And in Muranga, I think we have like 7 constituencies. Out of 7 constituencies, 5 MPs were missing, only 2 attended, Then the governor was missing. And that was something that we were looking forward to, because like majority of times we've seen people visiting, especially an area when they're visiting the State House, the governor has to accompany.
Do you know why the governor is in trouble with the government?
I don't know,
Does anybody of you know?
but we don't know. But because even Wamatangi too did not accompany the people of Kiambu.
Wamatangi is not in trouble with the government. Who is this other governor? Who is this other governor who was in? Who was taken to by EACC the other day? Who was this?
Wamatangi too. Wamatangi was taken by AECC.
Very recently, the governor who is being accused of fraud, isn't he the Muranga governor?
No, Muranga government is Irungu Kangata. Irungu Kangata have not been called by AECC. We're talking of Irungu Kangata. Joseph, unmute.
Sorry, I was saying Irongo Kangata has not been called by the EACC. What I know, there was a case that they were saying about him. About the case was about, I don't even, I forgot about the case. We were talking about it. Ilikuwa nini barabenchi?
Plane crash of Egypt. Ile pesa ambayo ilikuwa
yeah. I remember the plane crash. But I've not heard about Irongo Kangata being sanctioned. There was another governor, I think, from is Western or where? Niye alikuwa amesamoniwa. There's a governor who was summoned.
Ilikuwa Wangamati and Barchok. Those are the recent ones.
Wangamati
and Barchok.
Yeah. So I think Irungo Kangata refusing to go there. He knows the terrain of politics that is played. Let's even leave around the governor. The governor, it can be maybe a very hard one. Do you know the people who are the groundsmen? Wale watu tunaweza sema wako in touch with the ground so much. The MCAs did not go. They went only 2 MCAs.
Yeah. Then they were saying the people who went were, they were saying there were, there's this name that they usually
nominated.
No, not nominated. Like the grassroots. What? There's a name. I just forgot.
Grassroots leaders. These grassroots leaders.
Yes, grassroots leaders. Those are the ones who went. But you know what caught my attention was this. The promises that president was making. But if you listen to them, these are what president promised during the campaigns.
Yeah, and I think also the people in Mount Kenya politics is very hard. The people in Mount Kenya, they are afraid of losing their seats. Many of these leaders, they are afraid. There's people who know they are going to lose their seats and they're talking it openly. If you look at the people, so-called people like Akina, this Kororia, I think Elijah Kororia, the MP for it's called Ugatondo North. Some of them, they know they are going to lose their seats. So even when you see them talking, they talk just like, for example, let me ask you a question. In Muranga, did the woman rep go?
No.
And she's a strong supporter of Ruto. The woman rep did not go. She has been talking so much under Mantri about Ruto. Her name is Betty Maina.
Yeah, I don't think Betty Maina was there.
You did not see her there. I think that the politics in Mount Kenya is very toxic. You cannot even be able to nini through it. Most of these leaders, some of them in Mount Kenya, the places, let's say Kiambu, Muranga, Nyeri, and Kirinyaga, and Embu, and Meru. So many of these leaders don't come back. So many of them don't come back. And some of the veteran leaders also, they are being swept away. In Meru, I'm also very sure that some of the veterans will go. Akinamburi, Amburi, some of the veteran leaders, they are going to go. That is what is happening. They are edging out these so-called old leaders, and I'm thinking most of them will be edged out because also of supporting William Ruto, because Mount Kenya is against William Ruto. I think
So, so
80%.
let us look at it politically, Mzalendo, and
Mm.
and we want to 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 look at it that they're not the first, especially from Mount Kenya, to go there. Yesterday, we had the Abagusi community that went, and they were accompanied by Simbarati and the Right Honorable Prime Minister. And the presence of Right Honorable Prime Minister was something that I took keen interest of, because, like, why would the Prime Minister also accompany the people of Abagusi when they're going there? Yet, when the people from Nyanza are going on to the development, uh, sometimes the Right Honorable Prime Minister is not accompanying them. But now let's come to Mount Kenya, because for me, I'm looking at it this way: what the president is trying to do, even though he's talking about development, but I think president is campaigning in a way, and he has come up with a new strategy on how to campaign, whereby inviting people to the State House, especially the grassroots or opinion. Okay, this is what was, now I got it. Opinion shapers. That was what I was looking at. These are called the opinion shapers because they're the people on the ground, and they're the people who gives opinion on where how the politics is. But you find that one thing is constant, especially when president invite people in the State House. One thing that comes out after maybe people have left, is about the issue of money, whereby people are being given money. And if you listen to even the MPs, the MCAs from Muranga, who were with Rigathi Gachagua, who said that they rejected invitation, they were saying that if you honor that invitation as a member of county assembly, you're getting 300,000. So my question to you is it true that you have to get 300,000? And if it is true, then is it for development?
Ben, you're asking me a very interesting question. That is it Mzalendo? Is it true that if I put for your dog a bone, it will lick or
Yes.
it will grab it? Mm? So when you put a dog for a bone in on on my dog's mouth, definitely it will eat it up very very quickly. So that is rather obvious that the MCAs, when they see money, they will always run for it, and this is caused by, of course, the quality of leaders that we elect in the county assembly, and majority of them think of their stomachs first. What are they going to do in state house? They're not really going to look for development per se, but they're going to look for the handouts that comes with the development they're looking for. Uh, there is nowhere in the constitution that of Kenya that the MCAs can go directly to state house to look for development projects. The government has got all the institutions that map the country of Kenya, and they know where development is needed, and
Mhm.
there's no this haphazard development that is influenced by MCAs or leaders. These are developments that's skewed. If Ruto was a good leader, if we had a good president, then each and every part of this country would be developed without discrimination. But since we elect leaders who are incompetent, that is why they run to state house, so that they can sit in front of the right honorable prime minister and the president and appease their people that we are now in government and we are looking for development for you. But behind closed doors, when the microphones are off, when the
Mhm.
cameras are shut down,
Mhm.
they take some money that belongs to you and they pocket. That is the sad reality.
This is maybe this is something that also maybe you can assist me to understand, especially when um, when you visit, especially that you are going for development, and you're being told of what has been done, yeah, and in the end of it, you are given something. you know, to come back home with. How does this one affect, especially the life of the people that you are leading, if you can only go for those development, but you don't put in good legislation that can assist you to work on the county or make you generate more money for those development in your counties?
That's why I'm saying what Ruto is doing is I would call it very illegal because one, this is the national government giving county assemblies money, and this is also county assemblies money, and he is saying indirectly that whatever we are giving you as the county assembly, uh, go and do go and do anything that you want with it. The government will do projects for you. So what these leaders are calling going to state house, they are calling it lobbying for development projects. So when they visit state house, they say that, oh, Mr. President, we need a bridge, we need you know, you present all this list of things that you need in your constituency, but look at it also this way, that the county assembly also debates on some of the projects that are informed by the people. If your
Mm,
MCA is going to state house, did you tell him of what is going to present to the president as uh, as 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 uh, as informed by the constitution of Kenya? The answer is no. So whatever they are going to ask there is what they feel is good for the county, or the projects that they have failed to implement. Now they are telling the government to implement for them, and the money, they can't account for it at the end of the day. We are having a similar problem in a country like Homa Bay. Majority of the projects have been done by the national government, and
mhm,
if you ask the county government, yes, you guys have been receiving money in terms of billions. Show us 10 kilometers or 50 kilometers of road that you've done with the kind of money, or just show us the development that you've been doing with this money, equate it so that we see where the 20 billion went. Most of these leaders cannot show you where that money went. A few of them, and I'm not saying that all county governors
mhm,
are corrupt, but
mhm,
majority of them cannot account for the money. And
mhm,
William Ruto needs to stop or these visits of status. And if he is supposed to, if he is giving them
mhm,
projects in their constituency, then they should also tell him that, you know, the money that you gave us last time,
mhm.
tumefanya hii na hii na hii na hii na hii, Mr. President, that it is not enough, tuongezee kitu kidogo tumalizie hii.
Sasa
Yeah.
unajua swali langu ni hivi, kwa sababu ukiangalia tu vizuri tangu rais kualika watu na budget ambayo labda anasema amewekeza katika labda maendeleo ambayo anataka kufanya kwa eneo hizo, um, tulikuwa na watu kutoka eneo la Kisii walikuwepo, tukakuwa na tulikuwa watu wa Kiambu walikuwepo juzi, watu wa Siaya wakakuwepo, na haya ni pesa ambayo anasema anataka kuwekeza katika maendeleo haya. Haya pesa zinatoka wapi na hazijakuwa budgeted? How?
There are certain budgets that come to status that I don't know what they call them, that they have a name.
But
The
but
president
but
doesn't have to
the
account for them. There is a military budget that can be diverted, and the president doesn't have to account for them.
which is okay, but how much are they? Because like if you look at how many visits people have gone to State House and the president has promised.
Yeah, so sometimes he says that he's over promising, but he has a good able CS in treasury who will
Mm,
ensure that the money is available. We have a consolidated fund. We have got money that is paid when the Eurobond matures. Where does this money go to? There is so
mm,
much that is floating in government that you'll be surprised the kind of money that these people control on each and every day. Look at the cup of tea that they enjoy in Ikulu. You are talking about hii pesa inatoka wapi? Siongee juu ya chai ile wanakunywa. Watu wanakunywa chai daily ya 1 point ngapi million, 1.7 million.
Eh,
Hata
so ina,
hata White House hakuna chai kama hiyo inakunywa.
so
Ikulu ya Nairobi
inamaanisha
ati kila siku watu wanakula. Hebu angalia budget ya White House kama kuna hiyo ni chai peke yake, hujaongea juu ya dina.
inamaanisha sasa
No, ndio
watu
nakwambia Kenya kuna mchezo ingine inaendelea Kenya, inaudhi hata unashindwa. Okay, where do
mm,
we start with this leader? Wewe chai hata wewe Mr. President, chai ya kwako ukiambiwa na bibi yako bana, hii chai ni 2 million.
sasa
Can't you question that? Hata kama kuna pesa inatiririka hivi, hii 2 million mnaitumia kwa chai aje?
president has to drink tea kwa sababu anafanya kazi. Amesema yeye ndio msomi kushinda, lazima mweke rais wetu asikie vizuri eh?
Nakwambia usomi na uongozi hakuna mahali zinapatana. Nakwambia kuna wasomi, kuna mpaka profesa amekuwa governor, na
Mm.
ukiangalia kaunti yake hata ina industry hata moja.
Uh,
Yeye ni kazi yake ni
actually,
kufagia barabara
actually,
traffic.
what I can answer, Brother Benson, about MCAs and the president, it
Mm.
means the president is undermining counties. They are saying that they are supposed to strengthen the counties, but is undermining them because why will you, as a president in a national government, be calling leaders from a county government, and
Mm.
you cannot call directly the executive from the county government because the executive from the county government is the governor. If there is projects that needs to be done, call
Mhm.
the governor to be able to ask these projects, how are they faring on. Why do you need to
Mm.
call 50 MCAs to State House and you have a governor? If for
Mm.
example if for example the MCAs see that there is nothing that is being done, even when you go to State House and why are we even budgeting for counties then if you can call MCAs?
Wewe hata wacha hiyo, kuna technology, kuna Zoom meeting, kuna mbona tusikutane kwa Zoom?
Uh, uh,
Oh,
Kuna
the,
Zoom
the,
meeting, kuna wakati wa COVID watu walikuwa wanakutana aje? Eh?
but unajua maybe tuiangalie kwa njia tofauti, kwa sababu unajua ni msimu wa siasa na pia rais pia anataka apate uwamo wake ya pili. Sasa
But
itabidi
anyway, umeiangalia vizuri sana. Hii ni
eh,
wakati wa siasa na Ruto pia
yeah,
ana strategize kama mwana wa siasa.
kwa sababu there are things that are within his disposal, and he's a politician and he's looking at getting his second term. So do you think by having all these meetings in State House is working for him or is working against him?
No, Ben, Ruto is a good strategist.
Yeah.
Is better than all those opposition leaders combined.
Mm.
Is a smart, shrewd politician. Give it to him. He knows what he's doing.
Mm.
And hizo visit tu ni kuangalia tu uh, kama bado mko na yeye, unajua,
Mm.
na
ni kupima area, lakini
anawapimia tu
sasa ile
hewa, lakini the day
inamuonesha moto.
yeah, ni ile tu wewe umekuwa ukipiga kelele huko Kisii, oh, Ruto Ruto, kwa wewe si ni wewe hapa, wewe ni nani? Wewe ni gavana wa Simbarati, ni wewe? Rafiki yangu
But you know,
bwana.
most of them, the oppositions, they are not coming
Let
to
me
that
tell
meeting.
you, there is one lady
Wow.
who said one thing. When you listen
Mhm.
to William Ruto speak, and Gachagua also said this, that when you listen to if 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 uh if you stay with William Ruto, if Gachagua and William Ruto can be in one room,
Mm.
sahi wafungiwe na
Mm.
kuambia ile vita itapiganwa hapo ya mdomo itakuwa, but at the end of the day who will win? It is William Ruto who will win.
Mm.
Ufungie William Ruto na Raila aseme at the end of the day it is William Ruto who will win that battle. William
Eh,
Ruto, he has, and this other lady who was fired the other day, the other senator, is called Gloria.
yeah.
Gloria said one thing, that there is just something unique about Ruto, that when you go close to him, he will convince you.
Mm.
He will convince you on a one-on-one. He will convince you whatever their lies ama nini, lakini atakubadilisha tu. kuna
Na,
vile tu utatoka umesema kitu tofauti eh?
maybe kwa Joseph, kwa sababu unajua Joseph we ni mtu wa mlima na najua unatoka huko, labda unaelewa siasa. Ukiangalia the strategies that the president now is putting in place, especially for the Mount Kenya, especially because like his competitor Rigathi Gachagua, because one, he is inviting people in Statehouse, various regions in Statehouse, which includes Mount Kenya. We have Kithure Kindiki, who is now given now the opportunity to make sure that he tours the Mount Kenya. Do you think that strategy that is using right now, will it work for him or will it work against him?
If there is something that I really know, and I know Mzalendo atapishana na hii, I really know that Ruto does not understand Mount Kenya at all. He does not know what Mount Kenya stands for. He does not know anything. His work, he thinks that, you know Ruto, what he knows. Ruto knows that I can use leaders to influence people. The problem that he does not know, in Mount Kenya, not leaders who influence people. It
But
is
now,
people who influence the leaders.
now look at what happened today with the Muranga.
Yes. And
He
it will
brought in,
continue going like that. Let him call let him call Nyeri people. You will see
because
the governor will not go. Why are they not going? Muranga governor could have gone. Why did he not go? MCAs could have gone. Why did they not go? Because they know there is something that, when you're in the ground, as we come and talk up at Juju, when you're in the ground, you can really know. And that's why I'm saying an MCA is a person who is in the ground. He knows what his constituents are talking about. Between an MCA and an MP, I can believe an MCA so much than an MP. Between Kimani Ichung'wah, who is coming to tell me about Kikuyu, and the MCAs that are in Kikuyu, I'll believe the MCAs so much than Kimani Ichung'wah, because they are in the ground every day with these people. They
but
come from these areas every day going to their county assemblies. Moses, for example, let's give an MP like Betty Maina. So many of the times you find them, or we say another MP from Nyeri, Muranga, you find most of the time they are in Nairobi most of the times.
yeah.
But these MCAs, most of them, they are inside. The morning you'll find them talking with these people. They are inside there. So I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mi
not now. It will
nakwambia
not even continue now. You
Okay,
that's
see
okay,
Nyeri, you see Nyeri, it didn't even Nyeri. You see Kiambu, the leaders went to Kiambu.
yeah,
They were unable to convince the people in the ground.
but
They went
but
there and they talked what they wanted to talk. But I'm telling you that the real issue in the ground is as more Kimani Ichung'wah cannot convince anybody. He cannot.
but now
That he can
Joseph,
come and say that Kiambu is going to leave Mount Kenya as who? Who is he to tell
Joseph,
people that Kiambu is going to leave Mount Kenya? So,
just
and even I would like some people to be reading comments of people. You see, when you see somebody talking, just go under the comments. You see how the people are reacting to some of
yes,
the things that he's saying. Even you
we
can take it in Citizen or any other media stations. Even
mhm,
here, just look at the comments that are going down about this guy when he's talking about these things. You'll understand. You'll totally understand how the people are feeling in the ground. It may be not all the percentage you need to see, but it
mm,
can be maybe like 20%. You can understand what they are saying. And I'm telling you,
mhm,
those, you see Nyeri, they are going to call
mm.
Nyeri next. And Nyeri, I'm telling you, even no MCA will go. Leave even those two who went from Murang. And
So
he's going to call Kirinyaga, and he's going to even to call Embu. But I'm telling you, it is in Mount Kenya, Ruto, Ruto is done.
you
That one
you
I
you
can tell you.
you you you
but
you you you
Mzalendo,
see yeah.
Mzalendo, maybe let me ask you, because what Joseph is saying, maybe the leaders themselves who are elected are not attending these meetings. But if you look at the strategy that the president has employed, is like calling these, we call them opinion shapers, or the people of the ground. Look at the people that are being invited. Very less leaders, but larger population of the village, like the people who are not in the leadership. We call them the majority of them are voters, and when they come,
Yeah.
and
This
a
are
new
simple.
strategy.
These are
So
simple. These are simple strategy,
mm,
and it has been used before. You use your most of these leaders who are seeing. For Joseph, he expects that the governor for Nyeri to go to Ikulu. No, he cannot go to Ikulu because he has already aligned himself with the DCP. And most of these other leaders who are in Central Province, they have already aligned themselves with the opposition now, and that is what they have been selling to their people. And some of them, they are also sponsoring the DCP party. That is what is being said out there. Now, why you as a president, who as a candidate or a presidential candidate, you need to look the other way? Because one, uh, if you are a governor, you will face an opposition. Not all these governors that Joseph is talking about will not get opposition in their strongholds. They will get opposition from UDA, and that opposition is what Ruto is looking for, whether it is independent or somebody just running
Yes.
to get him the numbers. That is what you are looking for in a leader. And again, if you are elected in the central province, it doesn't mean that each and every person in central province, like say 80% of the people will vote for Gachagua. No, 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 no. That is absolutely wrong. And there is no data that has been tested. So these are just wishful
They
kind
have
of
tested the
thinking.
data. Why are you refusing the data of UDA? They
Yeah,
tested the data.
no, Gachagua has not
UDA was
been
a
on.
data tester. It
No,
was tested.
it has not been. It
Can
has
you
not
tell me?
been.
Can you tell me how many MPs came from Jubilee from the mountain?
No,
How many?
I cannot know the
We
exact
can know
number.
it was
I
election which
cannot.
was done in 2022.
No,
Just tell
but
me how many MPs of Jubilee entered into parliament from Mount Kenya. That is
wait,
a tested data. We can know with
wait,
the tested data of
wait
UDA.
a minute. Gachagua was not running for the presidency,
But
but
he was in UDA
yeah, he was
and
the
he was campaigning for those MPs. Tell me
no,
any MP who is from Jubilee.
go slowly.
Brother Benson,
UDA,
Brother Mzalendo likes here to come and throw around and saying
UDA and
that,
DCP are different political entities. All right.
brother, I'm telling you, just analyze Kasipul. I'm telling you, I'm analyzing
So
Mount Kenya.
I
And
am
I'm
also
telling
giving
you,
you.
brother,
I am.
we have a data to
Which
show that
data do you have?
Jubilee was defeated hands down in Mount Kenya. We
Do,
have a data
do you know
to
how many
show.
DCP registered members are there in Mount Kenya today?
We cannot know because it's a new party. We are
Yeah,
waiting for the
because you
general
don't have.
election.
Yeah, you
We
don't
did
have the
not have
data. So
UDA. Did we have UDA people? In 2022, did we have UDA people?
no, those
We
are
did
not
not have. We
statistics.
had only one
We
MP.
I want you to use real statistics, real data. All right.
So,
I want
so
you to talk when you talk about Gachagua as a presidential candidate. He has never run for any presidency. And does his presidency go beyond Mount Kenya? The answer is no. But how is
So,
he?
was Ruto a president in
Wait, let me
You
finish.
try to trigger me, Mzalendo.
I
Was
am
Ruto a president in
I
2022?
need to trigger you so that you understand some of these things. Gachagua
No,
has
you
not
don't understand anything. That's why I
Gachagua
argue
has
with
not
you
run
here
for
every time.
president. Gachagua, you are a Gachagua supporter. Has he run for president?
I'm not a Gachagua supporter. I'm telling you the
Yeah,
truth.
whoever you are. But
I cannot
as
vote for
Gachagua,
Gachagua as a president. Do you
as
listen to me?
Gachagua,
You don't listen to me, Mzalendo.
listen.
Listen first. First, listen. I cannot vote for Gachagua as a presidential candidate.
But
But I
I'm
know
asking,
what is going to happen. I
what
know.
is
Easy, I know what is going
happening?
to happen. DCP is going
What
to get more members of parliament in Mount Kenya. Why don't you want to see that?
I
It's
have
the same
told
way you come and tell us ODM. Why do you come and
I
tell
have
us
not
ODM?
I
You
have not
come and tell us
refuted that.
Kasapul will
I
be
have
taken
not
by
refuted
ODM.
that.
Why don't you come and tell us independent we take Kasipul? Why don't you tell us independent?
I have not refuted that. I have just
Yeah.
told you.
But
I
you
have
have
just
come and said we
told
don't have data to show that
in
UDA
Kasipul.
beat Jubilee hands down. That is
Oh
what
my
is
God.
happening in Mount Kenya. DCP will beat UDA hands down. That is what is happening. The
I have not
Republican vote
told
happened in
you.
2020.
I have not told you that UDA will win in Mount Kenya, my
No,
friend.
you are saying we don't have data and statistics to show that
I have
DCP can
told
win.
you you don't have that statistic to know the numbers that DCP will get. That is a
We
fact.
did not even have data to know the statistics of
No,
UDA, but we
do
saw
you
it.
have
Okay.
do you have
At least
Okay.
we have an example.
as DCP won any seat in Mount Kenya?
Okay.
We are waiting for the by-elections. We need to see. But now you know the problem
Yeah,
is they have
you
been
are waiting. You
regimented.
don't have the data. You are just you don't
So,
have the
Now that
okay.
is the
information.
same talk he could be talking here in 2022
Joseph,
You
before
are
they
Joseph,
did the by-election. You are
let me,
saying UDA is
let,
a new party. We don't even know it. That is the same talk. It was the same talk at that time. They were saying Kawanjiko. Who is Kawanjiko? It's the
you
same talk. We knew Karedi Jama was a candidate. By the way, let me tell you, Brother Benson, Karedi
Mhm.
Jama was posed to win that election in Kiamba. He was the one who was posed because he had been there. He had become an MP. They did not know about Kawanjiko. Who was Kawanjiko? He came from nowhere and he won the election. People calling him Mtoto wa Singo. By the way, if there is a person who shocked people, it's Kawanjiko. He won an election without even being ever in campaigns. He was just brought like that and he won those elections. So it's not that Kawanjiko won. It was a battle line between Raila, Ruto and Uhuru. It's the same thing happening. It's a battle line between Ruto and Gachagua. That is
So
just the battle line,
it's a
and you will
battle
see it.
line between Ruto and Gachagua. And brother Ben, did you have the data of Mount Kenya of how many votes Raila Odinga would get in Mount Kenya?
Where is Joseph?
I would want to. I don't know where he's gone to. He's left because I think uh, you know. So I like debating some of these guys
Oh,
who are carried away by
okay.
politics.
Now let us just bring it sober. So, what were your point of argument?
Now the point of argument is simple. He's saying that uh, UDA that I think he started his argument by saying that UDA is not going to get anything in central Kenya. And the visits, the argument was the visit. Now the visits of of uh, of people who are opposing the current leaderships, especially, you'll find that in each and every constituency there is an opposition. Yeah, even an MCA utakuwa hata kama wewe ni wa UDA, there'll be somebody who is opposing. Even ODM currently in Kasipul, there is a ODM candidate, but he is being opposed, yeah, by somebody who is an independent, yeah. So these people can decide to support the person of their choice. So I'm telling him, okay, fine. Gachagua he has got a political party that has not been tested anywhere, yeah, anywhere. So we don't have data of how he's going to perform against UDA. But having said that, the culture of Mount Kenya people, we know it very well. They might not vote for Ruto. They might not vote for Gachagua 100%, but Ruto is looking for votes in Mount Kenya that he will get from these people who are visiting the State House. That is a fact.
Oh,
Now, if
that is
somebody is running with Irungu Kangata as a governor and is running in UDA, do you think that Cecil Miriri, who is running in Embu, will not get a vote for William Ruto in that constituency? They will get a vote. This is
yeah,
the
that
difference.
is true.
Now,
But
this is the difference between Raila Odinga and William
now,
Ruto.
before you go there, let us take it slowly here. And you're saying that DCP does not have the data to prove because they've not run for an election. That is what you mean?
Yeah,
Um,
they don't have an election data that okay, fine, we had candidates in the previous election, this is how we performed.
Yeah, that is true, and that is can also be compared to that also can be also be compared to the that can also be compared to UDA and Jubilee, because by the time when Kawanjiko was running as an MP for Kiambaa, the UDA did not have data to prove or to show that they've participated in the election. But from the look of things, the numbers were pointing at Kawanjiko winning or the UDA winning that seat, despite
Mhm.
the fact that they had a candidate who has a name, and the candidate also that was being supported by the president.
Now
So
this is
if you're arguing that way, you can also bring in the issue of Jubilee, because one, the DCP at the time of its formation, there is no election that has taken place, or there's no election that is taking place. So we cannot get those datas. The only thing,
how many candidates do you think in central province will vie on a UDA ticket who are currently serving?
so many of them, and I can tell
You
you
just
based
answered
on,
yourself.
yeah, so many of them will. It's like this, Mzalendo.
Brother Benson, can I come in a bit?
Okay,
There is
let me
no day that you'll
let me
find a
finish.
party without a candidate. There is
okay
no day you think, even now
let me
Kenya had candidates. There is
let me
no
let
day
me
you'll find a
let me
party
assist
without a
the,
candidate.
let me see, assist Mzalendo here for one thing here. Mzalendo, and I want to give you something that is very practical, and I want to give you practical with ODM. Yeah. Despite the fact that the challenges that ODM usually have during the nomination, how many people still wants to go through nomination, or how many people still want that certificate?
Yeah, because ODM has been tested.
No, not that ODM has been tested, because they know if they pass the nomination, you are the candidate, because
That is
that is their role.
yeah, that is the test.
So
That
that
is
is the test,
yeah,
and
that
that
is the
test
test.
that you that test that you are saying is the same thing that is going to happen with the DCP, because our
Now,
politics revolves around regionalism. You know,
there's a by-election. There's a by-election coming in various places,
mhm,
especially in Central.
mhm,
And I told you that the one where most of them, a good number of them, will be close races.
yeah.
Will be very very close races, very very close wins, and in some cases, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, or don't raise your antennas if Gachagua loses in Central. Don't raise your antennas.
When he loses, when?
Brother Benson.
I am just telling you. Just wait.
No.
Let me just finish.
Okay, okay, Mzalendo.
Brother Benson,
Uh-huh.
let me help Brother Mzalendo.
Have you ever seen Raila Odinga losing in Nyanza?
Brother
Yeah,
Benson,
I
let
can give
me
you
help
where he has lost.
Mzalendo. Let
In
me help Mzalendo one thing.
Migori, he lost
He lost in
to Okoth
Migori.
Madu.
Yeah,
And
Let, 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 me,
how
let me help.
popular was Raila Odinga then?
he was
And
very
Let
popular.
me help
and
Brother
how long
Benson.
had ODM survived?
Let me help Brother Mzalendo. You know, you don't understand the
This
politics.
is
Brother
politics.
Benson,
If you
Mzalendo,
have
you
the
don't
right
understand.
candidate, that's it.
Mzalendo, you don't understand Mount Kenya politics. Mount
I
Kenya politics is
understand it.
what.
I've been in politics long enough. I
Listen.
understand Mount
We
Kenya
are not
politics.
voting for Gachagua. That is not what you are not understanding. We are voting to remove Ruto from Mount
You
Kenya. That is what they are doing. And when it
you
comes
see.
to that election, listen, you don't want me to finish speaking and you have been
No,
speaking.
we are
Let
not
me
in a
tell you,
presidential election. We are in a parliamentary and MCA election.
I'm
Where is the
talking to
president coming from?
everything is intertwined between the MP and the president, everything. Why do we say suits? Kwa nini tunasema tupige suti? Why do people say
Yeah,
tupige
because
suti? Because we want to
Mukipiga
vote
suti
from the
kwa
person who
general
is from
election.
there up, who is supporting the MPs. Why do people
Sasa
put pictures of their
hii kiti
presidents
ya
in their
MP
poster?
mtapiga suti wapi?
Sasa
Una,
mtaki niongee, tungojee basi nimalize kuongea kile nasema. I was telling you, it is a battle between Mount Kenya people and Ruto. It's not a battle between Mount Kenya people at Gachagua coming in. They are going to vote those people of UDA out because they want to edge out Ruto in Mount Kenyan politics and Mount Kenya. It's not about Gachagua. That's why they are going to vote for DCP. Gachagua is not a major factor in this. He's just he's just picking pace from the Mount Kenya people. That's why we have been telling you here and we have been telling you again. If if Gachagua joins William Ruto, if Gachagua today joins William Ruto, he's going to go at it alone. I've been telling you here once and once again. If Gachagua joins
And
Ruto, he's going to go it alone.
I have kept on telling you that the Kikuyus in UDA.
yeah, true. That is true.
You can never allow to choose anywhere. They will be
you know,
one
The
in
Kikuyus
DCP.
in UDA.
And
And and I can also ask you a very simple question. You mentioned a seat that is coming in Mbere. How many candidates does UDA have in Mbere? They have only one candidate who they are supporting in Mbere, that constituency. Is that a Kalenjin or a Kikuyu?
who?
The-
UDA?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, wait and see the campaigns that are going to be done by
No.
UDA. Wait, you'll see, because Nani is going to be doing those campaigns live, the governor for Embu. And if he's
Why
going to break, you see, the problem.
why okay, let
Listen,
me just
Mzalendo,
have
I'm
it.
telling you, you
Oh,
see
why
the
okay,
campaign of, you see the
simple.
campaign of Mbere. Let me finish this point. You see
Mzalendo.
the campaign of
Why
Mbere,
does this
it's
why
going to
does
be a deal.
DCP why
Okay,
if you
okay.
answer this, you will finish
Joseph,
me. Why
Joseph
does
and Mzalendo.
DCP is a very popular party in Mount Kenya? According to you, it has been tested. DCP?
No,
Why don't they? No, wait. Why don't they have
You
a
are
candidate?
still taking us in limbo, brother.
no.
Unatupeleka limbo. We told you
Why?
what DCP talked about. They
Why
said this
don't
was
they
a
have a
DP.
candidate?
This was a DP strong. Walisema hii ilikuwa DP seat. They have returned it to DP. It's not that they are afraid to go for the
Mzalendo,
election, my brother. DCP wangeenda
Mzalendo,
hii election head on. It's just because
Mzalendo,
they returned the favor for DP.
Joseph,
DP was the seat was for DP. They returned the favor to DP. DP is in united coalition. They cannot be fighting against each other. So
Mbona
the other
mbona
point I want to tell you,
mbona hiyo sasa
listen.
uongee juu ya suti?
okay,
No, listen to what I'm telling you. Mimi sijaongea kuhusu suti. Nilikuwa nakuuliza suti kwa nini napigaga. Unajua ni
Joseph,
umesema ati MPs it does not
Haya,
matter with the president.
unajua
No,
suti inakuja
Brother Benson, let me answer
2027 hii
Mzalendo this one.
election.
eh,
Haya, in
Let me answer.
2027 in 2020 hii seat sawa, hii seat in 2027 hii seat DCP watakuwa
no,
na candidate.
okay,
Let me tell you. Let me answer you in very simple manners.
mm,
You see the governor Karinda, the so-called Karinda. This is the do and die for her. If she's defeated in this Mbere elections, she's done. She's going home. I'm telling you.
Na akishinda
Karinda akishinda kwa hii Mbere elections, this by elections, she's done.
mm,
She's going home.
na
And I'm going to tell you,
na tuseme akishinda tu, hypothesis akishinda.
done ashinde Mbere.
Mm.
Mbere elections. We are with
Akishinda
you
tuseme
here.
tu
Kwani
akishinda.
miezi ngapi, brother Benson? Miezi mbili. We are with you here. And I'm telling you, if she's defeated in these elections, even her herself is going to say, mwenyewe.
No,
And I'm telling you, people
basi
like Karinda, people like Sisri
akishindwa
Barire, you see
usiseme kura
people like
ilibiwa.
Sisri Barire, they are the people who are going to shift camp. You see people like Sisri Barire, they are the people who are going to shift camp. People like Kina Anne Waiguru. That's why you hear Anne Waiguru is saying that he's going to stand for the senatorial seat. Why?
Senatorial.
Why
But
Because
Waiguru
they are afraid.
Joseph,
Because they
amenyamaza
are
kwa
afraid.
sababu
They are afraid of
Joseph,
what will
aje.
happen. For in case a person who comes from another party enters there, na akuwe ni yeye governor, she's going to be looked at. Ataanza kuangalia about zile cases amefanya in Kirinyaga, the count of money ameiba in Kirinyaga.
Anne
So
Waiguru
I'm
si
telling you,
Anne Waiguru anamaliza term yake.
okay,
yeah. So what if they come
Joseph,
a governor from DCP?
Joseph,
Is going to be investigating the ills that Nani has done in the county. Why do you think she wants to become a senator?
okay, Joseph,
In Kirinyaga.
Nani anataka kuwa senator?
Siniwan
Mzalendo.
Waiguru wants to become the senator for Kirinyaga. Why does she want
All these governors, not because all these governors after finishing their terms they want to become senators, all of
Okay,
them.
okay,
It's not
Mzalendo.
right, yeah.
Mzalendo, there's somewhere here that we need to bring reasoning a little bit. I think like you're very selective on how you put in some argument, especially
it's very selective, I can say.
when you talk about testing or a party has been tested. And if you look at what is happening now, the history is repeating itself, especially with the UDA and DCP. There's kind of like a certain history is repeating itself here. And the reason why I'm saying that, remember when the president then, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, fell out with President William Ruto, who was then his deputy. Ruto came with his political party, UDA, and he built this party. And there was a by-election, especially in Kiambaa. Yeah. So, and it's the same thing that has happened. The only difference is that the DCP has not filled in candidate for Mbere. Yeah. But during that time, we did not ask whether UDA has been tested for an election. And I ask you something that you say that ODM has been tested, but something that we know based on how the voting patterns of our country is, you find that each and every region tend to identify themselves with their party. And come 2027, if you will be putting Jubilee and DCP, the population of leaders who will be battling for the DCP candidate will be higher than the Jubilee. And the reason could be not because they love Rigathi Gachagua, no, but the reason could be one, that you will be guaranteed that if I get the DCP candidate, your chances of becoming a member of parliament or a member of county assembly will be high. I hope we agree there.
Yeah, we agree up to there.
And that also reflect to ODM too. And I was giving you this analogy in ODM. You find, despite the challenges that they've always had, especially when it comes to nomination, even what we are seeing in Kasipul Kabondo, whereby the contenders, people like Aroko, who felt maybe the die has already been cast that we are not going to get this. Let us walk out of ODM or dump it and go as an independent candidate. But you still find, from all indication that every political analyst is saying or is concluding, that all the winds are blowing towards Boyd Were. That is the guy who is going to get the candidate. But you still find majority of contenders still fighting for that. They want to go through nomination. Why? One thing is fear, that they're looking into the future, that maybe in future, in 2027, I might run for political office with the same party, so that I may not be called or be said that as a traitor. You know, I want to be in good books with the party. So I think when you are giving that DCP has not been tested, I think in real sense you are being very selective.
I was not being selective. There is some omissions that we are doing there, and you know the reason why. Uh,
Mhm.
Everything that you have said, I have explained it uh, here before in the show. That the party ODM, just like any other party,
Mhm.
our politics depends on the tribal politics that goes on in the country and the
True.
regional kingpins, as you said.
Mhm.
But even having said that, that there are political parties within those regions that still manage to get a seat. There are
Mhm.
independent candidates who still manage to sneak in and win a seat. They might not be as many as you'd want compared to the majority dominant political party, but there are people who will always sneak in. In where you come from, ODM stronghold, we
Yeah.
have got Shakil Shabir, we have got Okoth Obado, we have got independent Susan MCA who won in Guasi as
We
independent.
have Billy. Billy
In
also is in Nyakach.
in there are three or four, they will always sneak in if they are popular and win that seat against your candidate. And let me tell you, it is by choice. If you choose a weak candidate on that particular ticket and the other people have got a better candidate, the people might decide to abandon
Okay.
you. And there are many
Okay.
dynamics.
Okay.
Okoth Obado beat Raila,
No,
and
no,
yeah.
Mzalendo, stop there. And
Mm.
I want to give you, and I want to tell you that when you look at the majority of people that you've quoted, especially that those who have won with independent, they are the independent, them going independent was not their first choice. They just went independent just because they were disappointed by the party primaries. Tell me
Yeah.
of any candidate who has just decided to go independent, especially amongst those you've mentioned, of them not being disappointed by
I
them.
can tell you that forthright, there are candidates who have decided to go on Ford Kenya and beat ODM
But after what?
after the ODM nomination.
Yes, so which means they are not.
They wait for the ODM candidate to come and they beat them.
No, they don't wait. After them being disappointed, that's when they jump to those parties.
The former lawyer for Kisumu who was defeated the other day, this other guy who has been winning on Ford Kenya ticket for all this time, he has been in for more than 3 terms. Did he win?
Now,
How many
now,
times have you seen him?
okay. I want to give you you're talking about Alocho Lago.
Oluocho Lago. The
Now,
first time he contested, then the
now,
second time.
let me now give you the history of Alocho Lago.
Hmm.
You don't know. Before, when we had, before Central Kisumu Central constituency came, we had Kisumu East and Kisumu West.
Hmm.
You know that, yeah?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
who was, yeah, so Olago contested for Kisumu East for the longest time, yeah?
On one.
Remember, even when Kenya Gudi came after the death of Omino, yeah, we found that Olago had already been contesting for that seat. And
Hmm.
Kenya Gudi just came from nowhere, but because he was somebody who was very close to the party officials, he was given that ticket. By the time Olago was deciding to go for Ford Kenya, he knew very well that he could not be given the certificate. But Ford Kenya was not his choice. But he knew. Yeah. Come to Shakil Shabir with
Okay,
God's
okay,
own.
okay.
Come to
Kisumu West. Well,
yeah.
let's stick to one point. You said,
Mhm.
who did? Well, do you know when Oluocholago vied first for Kisumu?
Lucho vied for Kisumu when there was a death for Job Omino, when there was a by-election, when Ken Nyagudi came in.
Hmm?
The late Ken Nyagudi. By-election.
So Oluocholago won on a by-election. Did he win on
He did not win on
a Ford
by-election.
Kenya
He did
ticket?
not win. He did not win by-election. He did not win by-election. I'm giving
He
you the history how he has been vying on ODM ticket where he has not won until he decided to run on another political after being disappointed. Look
I
at that.
I don't think you get your history right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oluocholago vied for the first time on an ODM ticket in 2007 elections, and he
Mm-hmm.
won.
Yeah.
And he won that seat. And there's something
No,
happened. There's something happened in between Oluocholago and ODM,
look.
and
Before you go there. No, before you go there.
he joined Ford Kenya.
No, that when he joined Ford Kenya, Olocho Lago joined Ford Kenya when now we had where Rosa Buyu is. But before we got the Kisumu Central constituency, I'm talking when we had Kisumu West and Kisumu East
So which one
and
came first?
Kisumu Rural.
Kisumu West constituency was before Kisumu Central.
No, when you before before the before Kisumu Central came, Kisumu Central,
Before Kisumu Central came, we had Kisumu West
yeah,
constituency. So who was
where
the MP for Kisumu West in
look where
2007?
Job look where Jobomino was. Where was Jobomino? When Jobomino died, Olago contested for that, and they were with Ken Nyagudi. Ken Nyagudi was given Ken Nyagudi got that seat. So the moment or that when Oluoch Olago went for the Kenya was now when we had the Kisumu had already been divided. So we had Kisumu West was created. So we had Kisumu West, Kisumu Central, and Kisumu East. Three.
Kisumu
Look,
West?
we had now Kisumu. Now Kisumu brought in three constituencies. We have Kisumu Central, Kisumu East, and Kisumu West. Yeah. So now when Olago was vying to become a Kisumu East, Kisumu West, where Rosabuyo is, yeah, yeah, that's when he vied for with Ford Kenya, and it happened during the nomination where he felt maybe there was a way in which maybe the nomination did not go well. And remember, during that time, Ford Kenya and ODM were in one coalition. And that's when we also had somebody called Abdul Dubai. That's when Ken Obura became the MP for Kisumu Central. Yeah. So you understand me? So forget about the Ford Kenya, or we vied for the Ford Kenya for the new constituency.
Now, Kisumu, where there was a constituency that Job Omino represented.
That
That
is
constituency within the
that
CBD is called what? Just give me that name. What was the
we
name?
had we had Kisumu Rural. Look at that. Look at Kisumu Rural.
There was no constituency called Kisumu Rural.
Look, Kisumu Town West.
That was Kisumu Town, because that was the constituency that was there. It was called
Yes,
Kisumu Town.
town.
Forget
Yes.
about the West, Central, and all that. There's only one that Job
Yeah.
Omino represented. Now,
So
after Job Omino's exit in that constituency, the person who came in to vie, and I don't know whether he vied on an ODM ticket, but I think it was Kenya Goody.
Kenya Goody came for a by-election.
Kenya
Angalia.
Goody is the one who replaced Job Omino.
Is it through by-election?
Yeah, through a by-election.
So yes. So
Now,
when you look, so
so
from
that is Kisumu town. I don't know whether it is east or west constituency.
so during that time, yeah, yeah, there was a little bit of misunderstanding. Then from there, that is when he vied with ODM and he got it.
No, just get your facts right. In 2004, Kenya Goody
Mhm.
was the MP,
Yeah,
and then in and lost the seat. He lost the seat. He lost the seat. He lost the seat to Oluoch Olago in
that is true.
2007 elections.
That is true, and that is true. So one thing
So how
that
many
now,
times are you saying that Oluoch Olago had been in oh, and then Oluoch Olago went to represent the party ODM consequently up to 2013, and he swapped parties. He joined Ford Kenya,
so when he swapped the party when he was joining Ford Kenya, that's now
and he
when
still won.
I'm not denying that. That is something that I agree with you. Yeah. But if you look at the history, why did he have to swap?
They had a misunderstanding, and yes,
Yes.
now this brings the point why
Yeah.
you are arguing most.
Mm.
You are arguing that you cannot win in a Raila's constituency if you are not a member of that particular party.
That is not
Olago left ODM with Mr. Not even a by election, not even nominations, not even that. He left the
mm.
party and joined Ford Kenya and won.
Okay. And
And in the next election, after winning, in the next election, he didn't even contest on an ODM ticket. He still went with Ford Kenya and still beat the ODM candidate.
yes, I agree with you. And
So do you agree with me that
I
sometimes in other cases that a popular candidate can win and can beat a candidate that is that are in an area that is predominantly dominated by an ethnic based political party?
but yes, it is informed by a certain decision. It
Not
the for you to move out that party and go to the party that you are going to, it means at some point there was a disagreement. Yeah, that's
Of
why you are
course, why
moving out.
people, yeah, why Gachagua left UDA there has to be a disagreement.
Yeah, so that's why you were talking about
What,
independent
Brother Benson?
candidates. Yeah, so that's why
What, brother?
I was telling Mzalendo that even if you argue like that, you
Go,
will
okay,
still find.
that one is a bit complicated. Go to your
What,
constituency, Migori, PDP,
Okay,
or Bad.
Migori can tell you when they went for nomination with Obado and Oyugi. Yeah, Obado won in the nomination, right? And he was not given the party certificate. He went to Nairobi and came with PDP,
And
and he won
he was not, just say he was not given which party ticket.
the ODM party ticket, and he went with PDP.
Was ODM then very, very popular under Raila Odinga?
Yes, he was.
And when Obado came with PDP, what happened?
He won.
Same
So,
thing.
so the reason is the PDP was not the first option for Obado. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, and this is also what I'm telling you. It depends on the candidate. It depends on the candidate who is vying on that ticket.
yeah,
Not
and
everybody
that's
could
a good
pull an
question.
Obado.
Let
I
me
will
ask
not.
Brother Benson.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question to Brother Mzalendo. We already know the person who is running for Bere South, Bere North, by elections. Do you know the UDA candidate? Do you know his name?
No, I don't know.
You don't know even his name. Why don't you know his name? I know the one who is running under DP. First, even listen to what I'm telling you. The candidate that is running under Moses Kuria party is known more than the candidate who is running under UDA. Do you know that is something telling? Hiyo ni kitu inafaa kuwa inakuambia
And
kitu.
that
How
can
is
also
this
be,
candidate? I can tell you the candidate who is running under UDA.
but you know, the one for
This
running
is,
for Moses Kuria can be popular because you've moved from DCP now going to Moses Kuria.
that you know that's why I'm saying why is a candidate who is being supported by the government not popular? Because he's supposed to be popular. He has resources and everything. He
I
has the
always,
backing of the governor.
I always say that use data, use science. Don't just talk. Use science. Always, when you talk, use science. Where are you getting these numbers?
Which numbers? I've asked you a simple question. Do you know the MP who is running under UDA? I asked you a simple question.
I
You
know
are not able to
the
answer
guy
me.
who is running under UDA. I know he's called a Murioki
Is who?
somebody.
No. He's not called that.
UDA has a
Try
candidate
again.
called Murioki.
No, try again. You don't even know him. Try
He's
again.
not, he's not Leonard Murioki.
No, try again. You don't even know him. That's why I'm saying you
I will
don't
not
know.
try
That's why
beyond
we
that.
don't know. I can tell you the name.
No,
Let me tell you the
who is
name right
okay?
now.
Tell me who is a candidate for UDA.
Let me tell you right now. His name, let me tell you right now. It's here, even with me. The name is, who did you say?
I told you Leonard Murioki.
Wamudende.
No, just say that yes, I know the candidate. Don't give me the last name. Give me the names that I've told you. Are they the right ones or the wrong ones? You said that I didn't know. Now
Yeah,
which
his
one do
name is
you?
Leo. I don't know if it's Leonard. Me, I know the
You
people who have
see, you
Leo.
don't even, you are in you know candidates and you don't even know the name.
No, he's not called Leonard. He's called
It's
Leo. I
called
don't know if he's called Leonard or not Leonard. There's people who are called Leo. And his name
that's
is not
why
Morioki.
you know
His second name is not
when
Morioki,
you
so I
argue
cannot
with
say you know
me,
him.
some
I
of
know
these
him because I know him as Wamudende. I know him because I heard his name. I have
is
seen him. Even I've seen him doing campaigns because I
his
know him.
his name
That's why
is
I asked that. I
his
cannot ask a
name
question if I don't know the answer. How
his
can I ask a
name is
question if I don't know
Leonard
the answer?
Murioki. That is his name.
So the question is, the
Mhm.
question is, the problem is with this. You come and tell us we should use science. So in 2007, who had used the science to know ODM is going to have so many candidates of members of parliament? Which science was it being used? At that time, the science gani tulikuwa tunatumia kujua that ODM will become a predominant.
Do you know why? Do you know why people employ people like Sinovet to do the statistics and things like that? Do you know why it happens?
Yeah,
Why?
to know the level of holding you have within a certain region.
Yeah. Do you know why they do those polls?
Yeah, they do them to know. I've just
Yeah,
answered you. They do them to know the level
yeah,
of
to
politics
gauge,
that are there
yeah,
in the certain
to
region.
gauge, to gauge where you are. That is the science. You don't just say,
Yes.
"Hey, this candidate I have seen, I have heard. Hey, wahu jamaa yuko poa."
Mm.
Ukiulizwa
But
hiyo
so
yuko poa
what about
umetoa.
DCP? What are the polls saying right now about DCP in Mount Kenya? What are the
I-
polls saying?
In
Because you're
in
supposed to
in
tell us about the polls.
in in these polls that are in the polls that have been done hii ya Mbeere hii, the top candidate ni huyo wa DP, number 2 ni wa UDA, number 3 ni huyo unasema. That is what the polls are saying. So it is and I told you this race is between Ruto and Gachagua and DP. That is the it's a two horse race. Those are the people who are competing on a serious. Wachana na hao watu wa Kuria sijui kina nani. Hao wako huko chini. So candidate ni wa UDA na wa DP. Hao ndio wana compete.
Me, I've
So
told you my statistics here. We are going to come back here. I've told you one thing.
are you
You see,
I
that
have
guy
told
for
you that
UDA
that's a
will be number
that's
3
a very very
in that
close
race. I'm
race.
telling
That's
you.
a very very close race. And maybe you will shut up when you're beaten in this race.
No,
And
and you, I'm telling you,
I am just telling
I'm
you
telling
that's
you
a
for sure,
very,
brother Benson,
very,
we are
very,
here, and I'm
that's a
telling
very,
you,
very close,
the
a
UDA
very close
candidate will
game.
be number 3 in that race. UDA
Who?
candidate will be number 3 in that race. I'm telling you, you will
Sawa
come to
sawa,
see. We
wacha
are with
tu,
you. It's only 2 months. We'll wait
wacha
and see.
tuone.
Yeah, and
Hii
I've told you
Malete,
another thing. I've prophesied for you. 2022, I refuse to see these things. I refuse them. Nilisema hapana, watu watavotia Uhuru. I refuse them. But what was in my heart knew. Watu wamekataa na Uhuru, but I
no,
refused. He was messed up.
now
Uhuru was messed
the
up.
fact,
Uhuru was messed up by UDA. That is one thing we should say.
you know, Uhuru helped your argument because Uhuru did not campaign for Raila Odinga. He
No,
did not.
not about campaigning, but he had endorsed him. It's not a must to go and campaign.
He did not at all campaign
So
for
you think Uhuru,
Raila.
if Uhuru could have campaigned for Raila Odinga, he could have won Mount Kenya
There
votes?
could have been a big difference, a very, very big
Brother,
difference.
brother, now that's why I say you don't understand totally, completely politics of Mount Kenya. Just leave them, brother.
I
Even
agree. There's
brother Danny
nothing.
was telling
I
you a
keep on.
kind of there you never read it. He told you just leave. If you don't know politics about that certain region,
I have
just
told
leave
you.
them completely. I'm telling you, brother.
See,
It's
I
it's out of
just
your league.
a few minutes ago, you didn't even know the candidate. Hata hujui
You know
jina.
this. You know the same Muzalendo is the one who came and told us that Mount Kenya followed leaders. You know he's the one who came and told us here in a show that
That
Mount
Mount
Kenya
Kenya.
people follow leaders. When we were arguing with him another day here, he told me that Mount Kenya follow leaders, and they
They
say,
don't.
and I
Mount Kenya
clearly
don't
told
follow
you.
anything. Mount Kenya ni ukiamka asubuhi unaambiwa pigia huyu mtu kura. There's nothing you follow.
Nani anawaambiaga wapigie
There is
mtu kura?
there is nothing special
Nani
about. I have
anawaambiaga
good
wapige
friends in
kura?
Mount Kenya, very, very close people. Even people we do
Feel
with
closeness,
business.
brother. You
Mimi
have
nakwambia,
closeness. I am there. Your closeness, I'm there.
unaona
I'm
Gatundu,
there.
my best friends are Kikuyus. And
And me, I'm
each
telling
and
you, you
every
have
time you
closeness.
see
I'm
this kind
there.
of argument, unaona hii
You know,
argument
let me tell
tunaanza
you,
kupiga,
you
they
might
bring it.
pretend, just pretend. It's okay, pretend. Just pretend it's not
Pretend about
happening.
what? About
Pretend is
what?
not happening. Pretend that DP is going to win the election for Mbere. Just pretend it, but you'll see it.
I have
It's
told
going
you
to
that's a
happen.
very close call. Sijakataa inaweza
It's
shinda.
not close.
Wewe
It
unasikia
will not
Kikuyu
be
na wapi?
close, brother Benson. I'm telling you, it will not be close. He'll be hammered. I'm telling you, he'll be hammered. There's no closeness there. That
Aya, na
guy of UD will be hammered.
ukishindwa,
Mario mpaka
unajua
na ule
hii
chama cha
ndio
kazi.
Okay,
I'm
hii
telling
ndio
you,
confidence.
that is something I'm waiting to see.
Hii ndio
He'll be
okay,
confidence.
hammered mpaka na ule jamaa wa chama cha kazi. He'll be hammered like
Hii ndio
okay.
nonsense. Hata by the
Joseph
way, I've
and
seen him
Zalendo.
doing campaigns. I've seen that Mudhende doing campaigns, brother.
Mm.
My friend, I think
who's-
you are supporting the wrong candidate. You know, I always follow groups of from there, and I can see the things that are happening. Just go and look at the campaigns for Mudhende. You come and
Okay,
tell me.
all
You
right.
come
We'll
and
be
make
here.
it.
Haya.
We will be here and we will be discussing those results. And for me, where I'm very sure of, I can speak of Malava, and I think like Panyako will win, and that's my thought. For Mbere and Kasipul Kabondo, I know Aroko has influence, but Boyd Were might carry the day from the look of things because of party politics. Because like majority of the people in Kasipul, some of them are saying we are voting the party. When Baba say right is right, when Baba say left is left. So to me, I think Boyd Were might win that seat. So for Aroko also might give him. It might be a tight race, but at the end of the day, party might carry the day. So that is what I think. And I think we've done like 3 hours, and it was good having both Joseph and Mzalendo to be with us and here. I'm seeing, listen how Brother Benson Media is cool. Okay, thank you so much. Mzalendo, maybe your last remark before we wind up.
Yeah, I think it has been a very good discussion. And politics are a very interesting game. And I keep on telling people, don't be very sure about your candidate until until the votes are counted. What is important is the person who is announced as the winner. So in politics, anything can happen. You can get a shocker You saw some people losing election and going to South Africa to cool off in a game park, yeah, to just to see wild animals, in an election that they were very sure of winning. So in if you are a politician, you are not very sure until your candidate is announced the winner. And there is also rigging in elections, don't forget about that. Otherwise, thank you very much for hosting me on BBM. And viewers, if you have not subscribed to our Freak 24, we have a wonderful channel that we air also sports, Dimbala Afrik, and also our political talk shows. If you want fiery political views and orthodox views, positive views, then make sure that you subscribe.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mzalendo, for your closing remarks. Mr. Joseph.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity we came here to discuss. Even though sometimes it seems like we differ in some things, but see, kwa mambo zingi. We differ in politics. Politics is about differing and saying my candidate will take it. Politics is about I will. If you come and say you're in politics and you don't, hata Stone PK mwambie, politics is all about I will. Hawezi
Mm-hmm.
kakaingia politics kama ushindi. That's
Yeah.
what that's the main reason that Ruto has been winning, because he says I'm winning. Hii
Mm-hmm.
kitu nachukua, so it's also tell Stone PK ajitayarishe
Mm-hmm.
kusema amekuwa
Yeah.
MP. Hata mtu anaanza kujiannounce mapema the MP if he's standing for MP nini. So here we
Mm-hmm.
come sometimes to talk. Sina makasiriko, I see some people saying niko sina makasiriko is sometimes unasikia unachemuka, voice inaenda juu, is not that. Mimi na Mzalendo sisi ni marafiki, so I don't think kuna ubaya, we just talk
No,
politics.
we are very good friends, by the way.
Yeah,
We just,
we talk just politics, so don't think that.
I know, I only know where to trigger him. I know right
And
now.
he always take the bait. He always knows I will take the bait. So
Anaiuma na anaimeza.
so
Even
this is politics.
before the argument begins, anaanza, I know Mzalendo will not agree with this.
Yeah, and the problem is, that's why I saw in US. I was very, as we finished, I was very angry
Mm-hmm.
because somebody just came and started saying his views, that you got angry and shot a person. It's such disgusting. You cannot do such a thing. It's very disgusting
Mm-hmm.
because
Wacha
somebody
ni-
is saying what he thinks.
unaona hiyo story, wacha tuongee unaona
Yeah.
hiyo
Mm-hmm.
story usiangalie hivyo.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a podcast like this, you have to be very careful of what you say.
Mm-hmm.
Lazima kwa makini, because some people are radicalized with a very simple sentiment. Hilo
Mm-hmm.
unasema hapa, ukisema kesho manzee, kesho tutafanya hivi na hivi, kitu mbaya ufanyie mtu kitu mbaya, ama ufanye tu onea. There are some people who follow you to an extent that hey, mi nataka kusikia view ya Mzalendo hapa ni nini, na hiyo
Mm-hmm.
view yangu hiyo anaenda naitchukua anaitimiza hivyo hivyo vile nilisema. Kuna mtu anafuata Gachagua to an extent by that, hey, Gachagua akimwambia we fanya hivi, kama wewe si wewe Jose, mwingine
See,
kama
mimi sifuatagi. I don't follow him.
kuna watu fuata Raila Odinga. Ukiambia mtu kama Gausho endo unipigie ule Bernard, unaona ule brother Bernard wa BBM, endo nichapie kofi mbili kali, unampige na umpige teke ya matako aende huko, nakuambia. Anakuuliza tu ni saa ngapi unataka nifanye hivyo mkubwa.
Mm-hmm.
Lakini sasa wamefanya vibaya juu hiyo kijana ameacha watoto wadogo.
Huyo kijana alikuwa na maneno zingine, but still it does not warrant you to
To
kill
kill somebody. That is what I'm saying. Whether you support him or not, does not warrant you to kill a person. It's very wrong.
yeah,
Because
it does not warrant you to kill somebody because of their views. These are just views. These are political views. You have your view, I have my view. Let's move on. We shake hands. If we win elections, me, I thought that hii inchi Republic, unaona, I've watched them swap like that. Republican anaingia Democrat anaingia, Republican anaingia na Democrat. Yani they keep on, kama hii election inakuja hii, unajua definitely Democrats wataingia, Republican wanatoka. Wakitoka hivi wanaanza kutusi wale wengine. It is that circle. They keep on pushing the agenda. So others are progressive agenda, conservative views, and the other are right-wing views and left-wing views. So they have got all these talking points that they try to emphasize. Hatujafika hiyo level, but if we reach that level in our politics, we will be so radicalized.
Yeah, what usually happens is not that we've not reached. I think at some point we've not reached that level, but kind of like we are in that path because when you look at how sometimes even we treat the leadership of the politician of a particular political party, especially. And I can give you a typical example. Look at what happened in Kisii. Just because somebody supporting President William Ruto, somebody supporting Matiang'i, you end up as leaders that you fight. You know, Mzalendo, unmute.
Mi nakwambia usiende mbali, follow up by election hii ya Kasipul.
Yeah.
Uzuri hao Wasapere hao Wakikuyu wachinjanangi kwa siasa.
Hapana, imeanza Mzalendo. Imeanza kuwa watu wameanza
Wakikuyu walikuwa napiga siasa yao ya ustaarabu, lakini
wameanza Mzalendo saa hizi wameanza. Ninakwambia wamekuwa radicalized siku hizi.
Wanachinjana.
Wameanza wakichoma ma supermarket za watu. Ni wapi ungedhania supermarket za watu zingechoma?
Hii wachana na hizo ni watu wamelipwa wafanye vitu kama hizo, wametoka nje. Mimi ile radicalization, unaona kama huko kwetu unapata kijana alitoka na mkono moja asubuhi, akirudi nyumbani ati hana mkono.
Unajua
uko na vitu kama hizo wewe Joseph, uko na hizo vitu kwenyu?
Zetu hazitapita hiyo,
unatoka na mkono mbili hivi
Mzalendo.
But that is dirty politics bwana, that is very
Mzalendo.
Na siasa ya MCA ati
Mzalendo, unajua kuna saa zingine mimi nauliza swali, unapata kwamba kuna sehemu ambao labda watu wanashindana kisiasa, hao watu wote mnataka kuongoza, na hao watu ambao unataka kuongoza unaweka wanapigana na wanaumizana, wanauana. Sasa utaongoza nani?
Hao si wanasiasa waangalie hivyo bwana.
Na pia unajua saa zingine pia inafaa uulize mavijana. Unapata kwamba vijana, kwa sababu unapenda mwanasiasa, itabidi mpaka unapiga kijana ambao unamjua, mtu ambaye umesoma naye, mtu ambaye mmekula naye, mtu ambaye mnapitia shida moja tu hapo eneo pale mpo. Lakini so unajua saa zingine mimi nasema kwamba hata hao mavijana sana sana iko hii eneo asidhani. Unaona kenye kinatokea kule kaunti yetu ya Migori, unaona venye vijana wanachinjana.
Wewe unasema yes, mimi naambia huyu jamaa huko kwetu bana, hati hiyo sio siasa, hiyo ni masaka. Unaingia kwa siasa ati the dominant party is ODM. Maana ina masaka watu mbaya sana.
And unapata kwamba hata wanasiasa hao wenyewe ni kama wanafurahia ukiona kama kuna hao mavikundi wa vijana wakikuja, kwa sababu inakuwa ni kwamba mkifika mahali ambapo mtapatikana na nataka kuangalia what I want to look at the burial of Dalmas Otieno. I don't know how it will happen.
Sasa unaona hiyo burial ya Dalmas kutakuwa na siasa, but you see now Dalmas broke ranks with ODM, but sasa wataanza kusema vile Dalmas alikuwa mtu mzuri. Haki ya Mungu, are they in politics?
And I think
I was saying the other day that this was one of the wisest people that I have. But manze, Mr. BBM, if you wanted to know a Luo who is intelligent, that man, boss, hebu ende uangalie madebate zake. That guy was just beyond his time, unajua.
Let me tell you. Nasemaga hivi brother Benson, the good people who are supposed to lead us, they did not lead us. ndio walimalizwa. The
Wewe
people
unaona
who are supposed to
kuna
yes.
huyu unasikia Jose huyu Mwangi wa Equity akianzisha hii bank ya Equity Bank sijui nini. Dalmas
Yeah.
already in the 80s he had already established a bank, a Thabiti Finance Company.
Thabiti
Yani
Yeah.
Finance Bank.
yani
Kabisa.
kuna banki yake yeye ndiye ameanzisha.
Na
Na
utapata at that time alikuwa anasumbuliwa na serikali ile iko into power.
Sina
He
moyo
told
walikuwa
us
watu
that.
wanachukua maloni wakachukua maloni ikaanguka. But
So
na
ilisaidia
I think
watu,
we had good
ilisaidia
leaders, but
community. That mzee really helped the community.
li-
Now
I
level
think Kenya is
we
not where
don't
it
have
was
such
supposed to
leaders
be.
anymore.
Yeah,
if
we don't. We the leaders who are like that, they are all gone, and most of them they were taken by this system we call system, and it's
There
very
was a
unfortunate
time,
that
let me give you a
we got
story.
all
There was
those
a
good
time I
leaders.
was in Kiambu town. I was doing a feature there in Kiambu. Uh, I was talking to dairy farmers in Kiambu. Now there's this Kikuyu man mwenye, if you are listening, man, I salute you. Alikuwa amefungua a cooperative company ya kupatia wamama loan. Ilikuwa inaitwa Podep in Kiambu. Podep. I remember the name. I used to do advertisement for them and things like that. Ilikuwa inaitwa Podep. So Podep, this guy ajaenda shule Ben. He does not even know how to speak English. But he has employed people who are learned, accountants who run the business. But he had the idea of what he wants to do. He supported farmers with dairy cows and a nani. This guy, I have forgotten his real name, but I think yuko mahali ama kama yuko ameendelea sana.
Okay, so when you talk of Otieno Dalmas, ask somebody from Rongo, especially the people of Sakwa. I think he's the person who came with the idea of doing dairy farming. You know, during like around Sakwa era, like you will get somebody has like two dairies, you know, and people used to do it, especially people of Sakwa. And also, if you dig deep, his family, especially the father and the mother, he's one person who never came from. I don't think he came from a poor background. Their lineage is people who had wealth, you know. Because if you know in Zalendo, you know somebody that is called Okebe in Luo.
Okebe
Okebe,
is mkubwa.
yeah, it's somebody who has money, and there's also somebody called Riako.
Riako.
Riako is,
What is Riako?
I don't know what Riako is. I'm hearing.
We kaa chini na wazee wa kuelezea hayo mambo. So ukipata kama we ni mtu ambaye unaitwa Riako na
Sasa
Ndokebe,
wewe you came across this word called Riako for the first time. Now kuniambia Riako inamaanisha nini? Inakuchukua yani something such a privilege.
hapana. We kaa chini. We Okebe unajua vizuri.
Okebe.
Sasa kama unajua Okebe, sasa Riako unaweza kosaze kujua bwana.
Yeah. Gypsy Corner, this guy was a great guy. Yani a very humble leader. And during his time, I can talk so much about Dalmas because then I used to be in the transport business. Na hawa jamaa wa hiyo area walikuwa wanapatiwa malon za matatu nani So Dalmas did a wonderful job.
Even
Wewe ulikuwa umpanda hizo matatu zile za kina Dalmas?
zilikuwa na zinaitwaje?
No, they were Peugeot 504s.
Sidhani.
Na they were this Peugeot 504 pickup zimekonvertiwa tu matatu. Hizo ndio zilikuwa zinaenda huko kwenyu huko Migori. Hiyo time huko umezaliwa bana.
We hii Migori ya upendi, Migori yetu hii haipendi.
Hizo viti watu wanakaa wakiangaliana hivi. Inaitwa touch me ama see me.
Hapa ilikuwa matchbox.
No, watu wanaangaliana hivi, si
Watu walikuwa
yani
wanaangaliana hivi kwa hivi, au
mnaangaliana
zikumbuke.
hivi.
And there were too many after Peugeot 504 kulikuja ingine ilikuwa inaitwa ni Datsun ama ilikuwa inaitwa, there is another pickup that came ilikuja with the same muundo.
Sasa huo unajua jamaa anaitwa Owino Likoa.
Likoa nimesikia story yake.
Basi wewe kijana mdogo sana, tukiongea na wewe mambo ya siasa wewe bana. Umesikia tu mambo ya Likoa bana, wewe ni mdogo kaka.
Likoa si alikuwa Migori. Sasa
Kaka wewe ni mdogo.
Sasa wacha nikwambie. Sasa hapo kwa siasa ya Migori ulikuwa na jamaa alikuwa anaitwa Gor Misiani.
Ati Gor Misiani. Yaani zitakosaje kuwajua kama wewe hujui Likoa wewe.
Sasa unaona sasa Gor Misiani. Gor Misiani sasa huyo ni ndugu ya babangu. Alafu tena unakuja hapo utapata mtu alikuwa anaitwa Okoth Aramena amekuja juzi, alikuwa councillor. So
unajua ukiteremka pale chini pale Uriri hiyo area, unajua mwanasiasa mgani alibobea sana hiyo area? Sony Sugar.
Mimi
hapo nimecheza mpira, hapo nimechezea hiyo team ya Sony Sugar.
Hapo Uriri sina hapo nadhani nimejua Likoa alikuwepo, Owino Likoa, then kulikuwa na Odhiambo Mamba, then ikawa nani tena? Okwanyo. Hao ni watu ambao wamekuwa Migori.
Wewe bana huko juu. Mimi nakwambia teremka hapa kwa miwa hapa chini hapa
Olwacha Nindo.
Sasa Olwach Kanindo. Huyo jamaa, he was one of the most eloquent Luos. Yaani ungempatia microphone hivi na kuambia hata kama yani wale jamaa walikuwa wanapiga siasa ingine, watu wakitoka hapo wanakuambia wanaimba tu, huyo jamaa tumempatia kura yetu yote.
Na ukiangalia hapo Olwach Kanindo wako karibu ni kama ni village yako Olwach Kanindo village. Walikuwa mpaka na majority of watoi wake na majuku wake wamecheza sana, wanacheza mpira vibaya sana.
Mimi nakuambia mimi nimecheza mpira pale Sony na kuna kujua vizuri sana. Sasa ukiteremka pale juu hapo ulikuwa unapatana na mjaluo mmoja alikuwa PS wa security, alikuwa anaitwa Oyugi Ogango, kalamu maduong, yani kalamu kubwa.
Ezekiel Oyugi.
Sasa huyo ulikuwa unaenda kwake, MPs wote wa Western, ikuwe ni Kisumu, ikuwe ni Kisii, ikuwe ni hiyo area yote, Waindi, watu wote wanafanya Nakuru, he covered all those areas. Sasa on a weekend, Oyugi used to land on a plane, land na ndege pale Kabunde Airport, ilikuwa ni yake. Akishashuka pale anakimbizwa pale kwake. Alikuwa na kwake kulikuwa na kanisa mbili amejengea mabibi zake, moja wa Catholic, moja wa SDA, amejengea makanisa kwake kwa boma. Na kuna waumini wanakuja hapo kwa boma yake, alikuwa na boma. Now this guy, asubuhi ukienda kwake Saturday ama Sunday, ndio watu walikuwa nakuja kumuona, unapata hao kina Mdavadi watu wanampigia magoti.
Hata Mdavadi.
Huyu jamaa was so powerful. Huyu jamaa alikuwa powerful, alikuwa na yani ukienda kwake, kuna time tumeenda huko, mimi nilikuwa mdogo, tumeenda huko na mzee. Sasa kuna mama ametoka Kisii, akamwambia mkubwa bla bla, mimi sina fee na niko na mwili pia imekwama huko ya mtoto wangu huko Mombasa, sijui vile nitaileta. Oyugi akamuuliza, sasa nikusaidie vipi? Akamtolea briefcase. Unaona vile hizi hawa jamaa walikuwa, akienda hapo kwa sitting room yake alikuwa na mahali anaweka briefcase, anatoa briefcase, akamwambia enda uchukue ile pesa unaona inaweza kukutosha. Ukiambiwa hivyo utafanyaje?
Nitachukua. Kwani mimi
ni wakati ya Moi, si ndio?
Wakati wa Moi. Sasa
Kati ya Mungu
this
na
lady
Afrika.
kulikuwa na, unajua hiyo wakati kulikuwa na manoti za shilingi 10 na shilingi 5 5 bob, na wewe umeona noti ya 5 shillings?
No,
nadhani
the only one we saw was the one walikuwa wanajaribu kuleta kama ya kitambo. They are
Kulikuwa na
trying to
noti,
bring it ya
kulikuwa na
kitambo.
noti nyekundu ya shilingi 5, kulikuwa na noti ya shilingi 10. Ya shilingi 10 umeona?
Ya kitambo ama ya hivi juzi mzalendo. Unajua tulikuwa na noti walikuwa wameanza kuleta za shilingi 10. Za kitambo sijaona
Hamjaona
mimi.
hii noti ya Moi ya shilingi 10? Hamkuona noti kuu ya 10 bob?
Kulikuwa nazo
Ilikuwa
zilikuwa
color
zimeletwa
green.
saa hizi.
It was color green. Ilikuwa ni ya green.
Unasema za wakati gani mzalendo? Unajua pia of late kulikuwa kumeletwa noti za Moi na shilingi 5 ilikuwa red, shilingi 10 ilikuwa green, nayo
Green.
shilingi ilikuwa
Yes.
shilingi 20. 20 ilikuwa blue.
20 ilikuwa ni blue. Hizo denomination zilikuwa alafu na sasa kulikuwa na 50 bob. Not
Na sasa 50 ndio kubwa.
Alafu sasa hakukuwa na denomination ya 200. Kulikuwa na 100 ndio mwisho. Na 500.
So who brought 1000?
Hakukuwa na 1000. Moi tu ndio moja baada alileta 1000. Moi hakukuwa na 1000. So hii briefcase iko na hizo pesa zimepangwa hivyo. Za 5 za 20 za 50 za nini. Sasa huyu mama bana enda chukue ile kibanda ile iko na iko na 500.
Lakini si shilingi 20 mzalendo ni pesa mingi sana hiyo wakati.
Anachukua ya 20,
20 peke yake ni pesa mingi sana.
Ilikuwa pesa mingi lakini anachukua ya 20. Anachukua kibanda ya 20. Aya, nikasema okay. Na sisi hiyo time tunaona hiyo pesa ni mingi bwana.
You blue 20 bob ingekuwa pesa mingi sana hiyo wakati.
Kama 2000 Kenya, hiyo ni kama 2000 Kenya shillings hiyo. Akapewa ingine, akaongezewa ingine, hii mama itakutoshea, akaongezewa tena ya 5. Yani anaenda huko kama leso inaanguka tu. Yani anaenda, yani hata yani unajua yani ile asanti huo mama anapiga. Wewe leso inaanguka anavaa tu. Yani wewe ile kitu unaweza mwambia hapo hakuna kitu unaweza mwambia. So Yugi was like that. Yugi, you could solve your problem instantly. Dada yake anakuja hapo anamwambia bana, mimi yenyewe nimechoka na hii kazi, nataka kuanza biashara ya matatu. Simu bado mko hapo, inachukua 5 hours. Saa hizo Peugeot inakuwa delivered kutoka Nakuru kuja kwa boma yake hapo in 5 hours, kabla watu watoke saa 8. Dada yake ameshapatiwa gari mpya. Huyo jamaa alikuwa powerful bwana.
So to me, what because I know he's going to be buried on 2nd, late Dalmas. We will monitor and see how politicians are going to talk about Dalmas.
I am telling you, if there is anything that they can learn, is the legacy of that man. That guy was.
But look at even like how Dalmas tried to bring financial institution. Apart from Dalmas, there is no any other person, especially from the Luo nation, who has tried to have.
There is nobody. Ule mtu unajua after Dalmas Otieno, ule mtu, somebody who brought things which are tangible to the community is before Dalmas ni huyu jamaa huyu Rafael Tuju alijaribu kidogo akaleta
Rafael Tuju tried.
But before Dalmas kulikuwa na
Robert Ouko.
Robert didn't bring anything. Robert brought the politics. The politics, but ule mtu alileta vitu tangible ni the late Tom Mboya. Ukienda California, unajua California, kama umelelewa Nairobi, kuna mahali inaitwa California Estate Nairobi.
Hapo Isili
hapo katikati ya Isili hapo. Hizo manyumba unaona hapo za California hizo. Those were Tom Mboya's pioneer projects.
That one I always say is the president we never had. Tom Mboya was the president we never had.
Bahati hizi kwa mafarasi hizi mpaka zinasimama mpaka leo. Hizo ni project za huyu jamaa.
But
So
you,
that is what happens in politics.
Yaani hawa watu wazuri wote, alafu tunapata tung'ombe mwingine kazi yake ni kutuandikia tu kwa Twitter kila saa ati 2 term. Hata mwingine pia mwingine ni 1 term. Yaani hakuna kitu yote ya maana
Tuliachie wale
wanatuambia.
watu wabaya
sasa
brother. Sina nikikwambia mzalendo, tuliachie wale watu wabaya. Ni kama Mungu anachukuaga wale watu wote wazuri, anatuachia wale hawezi tusaidia, because Kenya we have lost so many good leaders,
Yaani
so many of them.
today I was debating in another forum. Tunajiuliza, okay sawa, sisi kama Waafrika jameni, tulikosea wapi? Ni rangi yetu, hii
una,
nywele
una,
yetu, ama ni ujinga tuko nayo kwa akili?
siku yenye nilisikia vibaya sana ni siku yenye nani Ken Okoth alikufa. Yani I really felt bad.
Look at
So
Ken.
I
Hmm?
I like I really felt bad for Ken Okoth, especially the one for Kibra. And I said, like, this guy was a real transformation, especially in the people
Look
of
at what he did in Kibra.
He did transformation in Kibera too much.
and
Even the
even
guy who
when
did
he's
transformation in Kibera is.
Mashule
I think even
anajenga
right
kutoka
now,
ground.
I think even right now, people in Kibera are still reaping his fruits.
Even
The things that he did.
a leader to watch ni huyu jamaa anaitwa Mohamed Ali.
Huyu baya yake
Mohamed Ali is doing wonderful things huko Nyali. Hebu angalia zile vitu anafanya.
that maybe because maybe the kind of the party is, maybe, you know, I think
It's
I
not.
think I think sometimes also CC, we voters as also sometimes we are bad people, because we might find that somebody is doing a great job, but since he's having a party that maybe people do not like, he also becomes a bad person.
That is what is happening even in Mount Kenya, brother Benson.
Hmm?
People don't vote because of
Mount Kenya bwana, we angalia Wamuchomba zile vitu anafanya bwana. Wewe unasema nini? Mount Kenya, they are good leaders.
Anasema
Look at
people
a
don't
leader
in
like
Mount Kenya, people don't vote because of ideas.
Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro is doing some wonderful job.
I'm not saying there is no people who are doing good, but ukiangalia some of them, people
Some of
voted
them.
because of emotions,
Hmm?
and that is the problem. Because
Hata
you see, like, for example,
huyu Ichungwa watu wanamchukia. Ichungwa amefanya kazi.
nakwambia hata Ishongwa utapata you see, like the likes of Lee Kenyanjui. Lee Kenyanjui was transforming Nakuru.
Look at
But what did they do?
Lee Kinyanjui. Those are
What did they do?
you know, those are servant leaders. Yani wale nile, yani huyu
That's why
jamaa.
I'm telling you, what about Kenya?
Why would you sacrifice somebody like that?
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you Mount Kenya has an issue. That's why I'm telling you they
Si Mount
sacrifice
Kenya
food
peke yake. Mimi nakwambia hii kitu iko kila mahali. Hii ukabila ni ukabila, si ati
No,
kitu kingine. Ni
Mzalendo,
ukabila.
ni ukabila na ni ukabila. Juu hii ni ukabila na ni
Mzalendo,
ukabila. Tunasema nini?
ni ukabila, na pia kuna ile do I say that should I call it political ignorance?
No, ni ile ujinga. Unajua
Ndio hiyo nasema.
yeah, ni ujinga but we have forums like this to educate our people now, you know. At least
Because,
people
like,
are now becoming more aware.
You are speaking about Lee, and like, look at what now is happening in the county of Nakuru.
That is one person I felt bad.
Angalia wewe, mimi kale kamama yani mimi hata sijui ningekuwa president, I think ningekuwa mbaya sana. Mimi nikupata ati mimi ni president na nimekupatia kazi, we ni governor na umeenda ukanunua hoteli ya 5 star. Hiyo na kunyang'anya walai.
Sasa utamnyang'anya aje? Utamnyang'anya aje?
Kimabavu.
Unajua one thing that
na unarudishia raia hiyo pesa.
Mzalendo, I think what has really happened is this.
Sasa kuna governor anajenga nyumba ya 300 million Karen. Wewe unaniambia na hakuna biashara yeye ufanya.
Sindio maana
ndio maana hakuna loan amechukua.
Ndio maana saa zingine Mzalendo, when you look at all these people who are vying for these positions, elective positions, and somebody just come from nowhere and start to give you all this, like, is building this, yet like anakuja tu anajenga, lakini sasa saa zingine unapata kwamba, na nakwambia ukinipeleka ndajenga zaidi, unaona. Na unapata sisi wenyewe tukitaka kuchagua mtu hatuangalii sera zake, labda tunaangalia nguvu wa mfuko wake. Hapo ndio sasa sisi tunakosea. Kama we mzalendo, mfuko yako iko imara, watu watakufuata. Na ni kitu ipo. Enda tu nyumbani Joseph, wewe enda tu nyumbani uanze kupatiana mtu, utasikia mtu asema wewe ndio tunakupeleka. Wachana na wakina nani wenye watoi.
And that's why I'm saying, hizi vitu zina happen hivyo kwa sababu ya watu kuwa ill informed in the nini. You even people saying, you know even that song you are hearing people singing there to Kera Tene. You know that one was like the cult itself. Ilikuwa ni kama ile cult inawachukua ni ile wimbo inaingia kwa cult kabisa. That's why I'm saying, sisemi ati hiyo ilikuwa cult, but I'm saying ilikuwa inawavuta kabisa. Ukisikia mtu akiimbia hiyo wimbo na yeye and I even fault. You see musicians, I fault them. They're not supposed to be entering in politics because they give us very wrong directions and they give people who are not informed. Unajua sisi tutakuja hapa to inform brother Mzalendo na Benson, lakini tutafika maeneo zingine, we might reach out to the people who are in social media. What about the people who are inside there?
Muziki inafika mahali mingi na
inafika juu kuna radio, itafika huko ndani kabisa.
So huyo mtu inachezwa kila wakati.
Yeah, so huyo mtu akiwa kule ndani atasikia tu ukisema tugokera tene brother Benson.
What was the meaning? What was the meaning? Hiyo ilikuwa inamaanisha nini?
Ilikuwa inamaanisha waamuke mapema, na waamuke mapema kabisa waende wakapigia William Ruto kura.
Oh.
So
okay guys, bana, I think we are done for tonight. So
okay, thank you so much Mzalendo. And at the end of the day, whether you are supporting 2-term or supporting 1-term, that is up to you. Decide on where you want to be, but remember to make good decisions, because if you don't make those good decisions, you will be crying here. Utakuwa unasema sasa sisi tulifanya nini? So it's you to make good decisions, and decisions well informed, where you feel like, oh, I need to do this, so you need to do that. But at the end of the day, also you have to look at who you're voting, because every day people tend to look at the presidency. That is not the solution. You can have good president, yes, but what about other positions? So you have to make sure that when you are giving leadership, give good leadership to every stage that you're voting. Treat it with a lot of seriousness. Don't just vote for an MCA because you're voting. It will affect you. Don't just vote for a member of parliament because you're voting. Don't just vote for a governor and all that. Even just vote for a president. Make sure that you make informed decision while voting, because at the end of the day it will affect you. Wewe unaona kwamba nini itakuja kuaffect. Yeah, so hata kama unataka kuvote 2-term, vote 1-term, but at the end of the day, make sure in your 2-term voting you vote wisely. Make sure in your 1-term voting you vote wisely. Sasa ndio usikuje kupiga kelele hivi na hivi. Unaona? Mimi ndio hiyo kitu ambayo mimi naweza sema. Sawa sawa Mr. Joseph?
Yeah, na mimi miaka pia imeenda watu waseme mimi ni young. Miaka imeenda bwana. Fourth floor bwana. Ingia fourth floor bwana. Mtu aseme miaka hizi. Vile nakaa labda niko nini young kidogo. Na ni vizuri. I'm blessed that miaka inikimbishi sana pia.
Hata watoto wajawahi ona kobole. Hata kobole wajui ni nini.
Wewe Mzalendo bwana.
Hata kobole wajui hata kobole ni nini. Iko na kona 7.
Nani mimi? Hapana. Sasa kuna vitu zingine obviously. Kuna vitu zingine hata ndururu niliona mimi. Hata nitumia ndururu, so
okay, sawa. Asanteni. Mungu awabariki. I will see you next week.